And we are here because we are in a delay. The Mexico Ecuador match, which was set to begin at 9 p.m. Eastern time, different times depending on where you are, but it was supposed to start 6 minutes ago. But it seems that we are in a weather delay, and as a result, we're going to keep you guys company while you guys are waiting for this game to come in. And we're going to talk about the games that were, guys. We do this every evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time, just recapping the day that was, looking forward to the game that is, and then looking forward to the games that will be, guys. Welcome back to the Shape of Football, formerly the African, but we are in the Shape of Football, kind of looking at the stories that are happening in football worldwide, seeing the story that they shape and drawing some opinions and seeing where it takes us from there. So, guys, if you like this type of content, we do primarily African and Canadian content, but it's the World Cup. So, we got to recap everyone. Everybody needs to be covered, everyone needs to be heard. We're going to be here this evening talking about all things World Cup today because we had some very interesting matchups today that we're going to talk about as we wait for both games, really both teams to get back onto the pitch. But again, Ecuador versus Mexico are in a delay currently. And as a result, I'm going to keep you guys company. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over the games that happened today, but then we'll also, look forward to what's coming tomorrow, but just talk about what we've liked about this World Cup thus far. So, however long you are here, whether you're here for the whole time, whether you're here for a hot minute, just touch that like button. Subscribe if you'd like, but just touch that like button as you're in. Let us know how you feel, and we'll go from there. But as we said, we're going to take a look about what has happened today. But let's get to some of the games that happened today. But let's firstly get to this game that's happening today, as we do know the lineups that are out, and we'll just throw that to you here just shortly. Right, as everyone's scrambling to get through. So, for the game that is happening at some point today, this evening, here are your lineups for them respectfully. Right, we have Miguel for Mexico with Gallardo, Vasquez, Cesar Montes, Sanchez in the back line, Gil Mora starting with Lira and Luis Romo in the midfield, and then Quinones, who has really shown well this World Cup, Raul Jimenez, and then Alvarado for Mexico. For Ecuador, you have Valencia and Plata up top with John Yeboah, Moise Caicedo, Pedro Vite, and Angulo. And then in the back line, you have Franco Ordonez, Pacho Hincapié, and then Galindez as your back line. Reminder how we both got here for both sides. You had for Mexico, they were in Group A. They topped their group and thus were able to make their way all the way through to this round of 32 matchup with Ecuador. Let's actually go show you that group here so you understand that. They defeated South Africa in their first matchup 2-0. Apparently, my computer wants to fight me today, but that's all right. They defeated Mexico 2-0. They defeated South Korea 1-0, and then they got past Czechia by the score of 3-0. And as a result, topped their group with 6 points and were able to be victorious in that sense. Now, when it came to Ecuador, Ecuador was in a group with Group E, which was topped by Germany, Cote d'Ivoire, and had Curacao in it along with them. And what made their group interesting is they had to do it at the end. Ecuador had to come in and defeat Germany in their final matchup after really playing well in their Cote d'Ivoire matchup, but unfortunately just weren't clinical and then drawing Curacao. But the win versus Germany pushed them up to 4 points and make it on a third place slot. And as a result, they're moving their way through. As we are sitting in this delay, we are going to be heading, looks like we have players heading towards the pitch. And then once we have anything with time, we will let you know. Temperature certainly has dropped. It's about 17 degrees Celsius there this evening. So, yes, there will be a hydration break, but it's a cool evening, crisp, a nice, crisp evening, ready for football. That's going to be happening here this evening. And we'll keep you up to date with what's going on with that game. But as always, with our 9 p.m. streams, we're just here to talk about what is happening, what we saw in the day. So if you're in the chat, let me know what are your standouts for today. Is it the big names showing up in big moments for their teams? Is it disappointment? Is it the interesting conversation about all the African teams just dominated possession in their matchups so far with any results? It's definitely possible, but we're going to look at those matchups here. And we'll start with the first game that we had today, which was Norway versus Cote d'Ivoire, and in a very interesting matchup. There was definitely talk with Norway coming into this game, primarily because they sat their starters in the final matchup, and as a result, they got a matchup versus Cote d'Ivoire, a matchup which statistically, I though though the possession and all the numbers show differently, it did feel at times that it was very much one-sided. You can see this with the stats. Norway winning by the score of a 2-1. But the first half, if you're Cote d'Ivoire, if you're the elephant of the first half, you have to look at in the first half and say what could have been. And I look at specifically 9 corner kicks to 2. Now you're not going to beat a team like Norway when it comes to set pieces because they just have the height. Sarloff, Haaland, Odegaard, you're not gonna beat them on height. But with that many direct set pieces, direct free kicks, and things of that nature, they had to have done better. Because ultimately, it was wave after wave after wave of corners, and then Norway finally got their opening. They get their opening goal from Antonio Nusa, and then it's 1-0. And that to me is the story of this game. Yes, Cote d'Ivoire looked better in stretches. Cote d'Ivoire certainly looked better in many stretches, but they just could not find they couldn't find the option. They couldn't find the opener. And that continued all the way until really the 74th minute when Amad Diallo basically had a fine, I'll do it myself moment. And in doing so, what a moment for him. He scores, leveling it for Cote d'Ivoire. And at that point, we think, okay, actually, there, maybe all this pressure is going to finally, maybe it's finally going to result in something. Maybe they can steal this game at the end, possibly. But not moments later, a few, about 10 minutes later, because just it was a run, cutting back inside, gets a shot on, scores. Just great dribbling, great power to fend off the defender. It's the type of goal you see, you think, okay, after this, they're definitely awake. They are definitely awake in this game. They're gonna get this going. And inexplicably to me, it felt like they shut off. It really felt like they shut off when it comes to Cote d'Ivoire. The defensive energy wasn't there. The offensive energy wasn't there. It felt like they were playing for the felt like they were playing for additional time. But the game is 90 minutes for a reason, and just it's put on a platter for Erling Haaland off a great cross, and a chance like that he doesn't miss. And in the 86th minute, he puts Norway ahead. And people say it felt inevitable. To me, I'd say this felt like the type of game that you hoped Morocco didn't have yesterday, because Morocco felt like they were in control of that game for stretches. And the funny thing was the way that it was going and the way that they were missing chances, the more I started to think, man, this feels like the type of game that they're just gonna not be able to get through. But Norway are able to get that win. They get the goal. They move on. And for Cote d'Ivoire, they had so many opportunities in the first half that just they left so much meat on the bone. They left too much food on the plate. It's a game I know they'll look back and say, what could have been if they could have just been more clinical. Like I said earlier, it's not like you're gonna get chances. You're not always gonna be clinical against a taller side, especially when it comes to set pieces. All right, you're not out jumping 6'4" and 6'5". Right, verticality is real. Verticality, vertical, verticality. Yes, is real. But Cote d'Ivoire will look back at this game and think the opportunities that they left on the pitch is definitely going to come back to bite them, and it did. And so Norway are on to the next round, and they have a date with another team we saw yesterday, Brazil. They will be facing Brazil in the round of 16 on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And that will be a very interesting matchup in terms of just the pace and can they be clinical. They're not going to get as many of those aerial duels as Brazil did against Japan as they'll get versus Norway. It'll be far less, but for Norway, Haaland was there when he needed him most, and that's just been the theme of today. The big time players have stepped up in those moments, and frankly, they showed out when their team needed them. So Norway gets through. They face Brazil on Sunday. And from there, it's going to be a very interesting, fun matchup on Sunday. The third round, like the round of 16, is going to be very interesting. They're going to be very interesting just because the matchups that we have. The matchups that we do have so far, because we have three matchups set in the round of 16. As you know, you have Canada versus Morocco, we have Brazil versus Norway, and then we have Paraguay versus France, because we know that because France took care of business today 3-0 over Sweden. Kylian Mbappé with goals in the 45th, 74th minute, and Bradley Barcola gets a goal in the 53rd minute. This was a game that Sweden tried to weather, but the first half was just wave after wave, wave after wave, and just pressure after pressure, wave after wave, pressure after pressure. And frankly, what a just game that they had. You see the high rated players, just 2 goals, but Michael Olise certainly was present. Yes, Mbappe gets the goals, and he certainly was, but let's not overlook the game that Michael Olise had, just his movements, everything that he provided. He was all over the pitch. Passing was great, dribbling through. Just look at his passing. Look at the dribbling that he had. Again, off of a sofa score, just in case you're wondering. He certainly reminded us all of the game of his talents. It feels like every game, the different France times, different French players are like, "Oh yeah, don't forget that I'm good too." And so at first it was Mbappe, and then first it was Mbappe and Olise, and then it was Mbappe, and then Dembele was like, "Hey guys, in case you guys forgot, I did win the Ballon d'Or last year, so I'm gonna show out here." And so that just made it so much more interesting. Sweden, again, a good side, but in this matchup, they were just out talented, out tactic, out everything. It was a lot of just work. They got outworked. They got outbeat. A lot of things. They were just out everything in this game, right? Even starting Ilaga trying to get some work coming in. Yeah, he had a few moments, but France certainly. I mean, the only person who was a six. He was a 6.9 was Rabiot corner sofa score. This was France playing very well, and because of Paraguay's win versus Germany, it means we have France versus Paraguay, and that's going to be on Saturday. Again, reminder because of how the round of 16 is working, we're just going from round to round with little time to breathe. Because remember, the round of 32 finishes Friday with Ghana versus Colombia, and then it immediately kicks in to the round of 16. First matchup being Canada versus Morocco on the Saturday. So we are just going from game to game, no breathing, no time. It's just going to be football, football. And I think that actually, let me take a look at the schedule here. Right, the schedule doesn't have a rest day because again, as you can see on the left side of the screen here, you have Canada, Morocco, then Paraguay, France. That's on Saturday, and then Sunday you have Brazil, Norway, and then a couple more matchups coming. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, July 7th. And then once we get to the quarterfinals, there's 1 day of rest. So the quarterfinals, there's 1 day of rest before the quarterfinals. So you go quarterfinals, you go 9, 10, and then two on the 11th. And then the semifinals are the 14th and 15th, which means that's the only time. Then we have 3 days off in between. So getting to the semifinals, that's when they'll give rest. And that'll be interesting. But this is a marathon. And it's gonna be a war of attrition for certain. For certain. And so as I flip the screen over here to Mexico, Ecuador, we're getting closer and closer to game time. What's at stake for that matchup? Well, let's have that conversation here. At stake for the winner of Mexico, Ecuador is a matchup with the winner of DR Congo and England, which means there is a possibility that we could get England versus Mexico in Mexico, which, hey, you would, and this comes back to a whole argument I would always have, which is I miss the friendly, and I miss having teams travel for friendlies. I remember the early 2010s and 11s, right? Actually, it was 2008, 2009. Yeah, early 2010s, but then late 2000s. I remember Ghana took a Mexico tour, and it was just like, oh, Ghana after such a great run at the '06 World Cup. Then they go to Mexico and play Mexico and Mexico. It's just like, oh man, you miss those type of opportunities. You miss those type of matchups. And yes, we had like was it Angola versus Argentina this year, but you miss the high quality matchups. And yes, in this World Cup, it's a World Cup, so you get the high stakes matchups. But man, I do miss the opportunity to see top teams playing in places that we don't normally get to see them play. And so if this hits, a big hypothetical for if they're able to win their games, then you would have a possibility of Mexico versus England in Mexico City, which would be just rad. It would be just so amazing. Such a fun It would be such a fun matchup just because of the location. And again, to show you where the matchups are, so those would be those matchups. The other brackets or the other pockets you'd have Argentina versus Cape Verde, and the winner of that matchup would then face up with the winner of Australia and Egypt, which is rather interesting because then you could get possibly Argentina versus Egypt Argentina versus Australia. Dare we dream it's a Cape Verde versus Australia or Cape Verde versus Egypt? An African derby that far. And then the final pocket you have Switzerland versus Algeria, which I think will be a very interesting game. Switzerland will sit back, so Algeria may have more of the ball in that matchup. And then Ghana versus Colombia in a game where Ghana will have to, Ghana will be the underdog, but we've seen them in that role and then possibly move on from there and then be successful. But those are the matchups that are here at stake. Oh, I'm not sleeping on them. I am not sleeping on them. I'll be honest. My pick to win this game, and I don't want to go against the host, but my pick to win is actually Ecuador. I think Ecuador can beat Mexico in Mexico, but I think the home crowd helps them, evens up that risk that I have for them. And so that's how I see it. For sure. So that's what the matchups are there. After 7 years, the prodigal son had returned. Which prodigal son? Who's prodigaling out here? Oh, God. No, I think Ecuador. The thing with Ecuador that I like is that they've just not been clinical, but they've created chances. And so in a matchup that they could have here, I think they could actually they're solid defensively, but they're also good in transition, right? Their matchup versus Cote d'Ivoire both colors you in a perspective where they hit every part of the post of the goal cage, right? They hit the crossbar, they hit the post, they hit the right post, they hit everything. And so I want to give them credit for creating those chances, but they didn't finish them. But they've always had those chances in them. And so maybe at some point, maybe today's the day where the chances finally become clinical, or maybe today is more of the same and they get one or two. Oh yeah, I saw that. We definitely need to talk about that at some point. Cote d'Ivoire midfield. I think they just let off. They scored the goal and then it just looked like they switched off and they were playing for extra time. And to me, that just seemed like they scored the goal, and I felt like the game was there for them to take if they wanted to. And then they just sat back and it felt like they were playing for extra time. I'm like, what are you doing? Right. The midfield, I think, let them down in a sense. I can understand that point. I go back to the start of the game. They had 9 corner kicks in the first half. And yes, you're not going to get many shots on frame against Giants and Giant Vikings, no less. But you got to get something else. You gotta get something. And I think that's where I look at the first half is where they have the opportunity to leave with more than nothing. See if they score one. Now you're looking at it two. Then them sitting back, you can understand the logic. They're sitting back there, it's there. And so for me, that's where it's interesting. But no, I see the point. Yeah, because yeah, I do agree with you. There were points in the game through the entire right side of the midfield was wide open. Yeah, and I think that's both on player like Cote d'Ivoire have been good in transition. Sometimes where they're defending, where they were shading, where they were moving, it definitely turned into moments. And so, yeah, I think you can look a lot. I tend to look more of the I tend to look at more of the what's it called more of the missed opportunity goals. But yeah, sometimes defensively they were just off. But like even look at the goal that they concede to Holland to take the lead. It's a like overcorrection, over like they over rotated and they of the all people to leave in front to tap it in. Him, it's like it's sir, if you're gonna over rotate, take your chance with the goalkeeper there. Don't have three players running away from Holland in this moment. That just seems like you're asking to say, "Oh, we think we want it at your." No, 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 no. He wants it at his feet. Uncriable. Ah, yes. Kawhi Leonard is back in Toronto. So by rule, I guess we're winning the chip this year. These are the rules. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? They did that. Morocco gives me gas. Morocco is an interesting, like on paper, we are not. This is the first team that we're going to have to be without the ball. And like I said about Ecuador, I think the one thing that I'm leaning on a lot is the fact that we've created chances throughout this entire tournament. We've not been clinical with them, but we've created chances because we're not going to see much of the ball. Because even if you look at the Morocco Netherlands matchup, the thing that made that interesting when is you could have told me Morocco was playing Zambia in the opening game of AFCON. They were just wearing their orange kits, and I would have been like, "Oh yeah, that feels about right." But that guy looks like Cody Gakpo. They just were dominant. The one thing that you would notice is they couldn't trigger the press from the Dutch. And so Morocco had to be a little bit patient with the buildup. But once it got the ball into the midfield, it was just like, okay, now we're moving with flow. Now we're just attacking and moving with flow. And that's something that I'm wondering, especially versus Canada, a side that's going to trigger their press way further up the pitch. This could turn into a type of game where it's just okay, they are sending the ball. There's nothing you can do. They are sending the ball, and you over rotated on the press, and now all of a sudden, good luck. I wonder what the rotation between attacking with the press and being patient with it is going to be with Marsh on Saturday. Because I think that was something you watched. The way that Morocco was patient in possession, and then once they found their openings, then they just exploited it. Like the one funny thing about the Morocco Netherlands game is it shouldn't have gone to additional time. They should have scored. They should have. Sabari should have had a brace in the first half, but couldn't finish. And then the second half happens, and then he's just misses a few other opportunities. There's the 1v1 with the keeper with the substitute that comes on that is saved. Morocco, it's like it's the equivalent of the Canada South Africa game, and it felt like the longer was going, oh, this is going to end in penalties and they're going to lose because they couldn't finish their chances. But then even the first penalty they get bounces off the goalkeeper's leg and goes in. That's just such. Hey, sometimes you need your bounces, but that's the only thing I'm leaning on for Canada versus Morocco because everything else it just feels like, hey, it's going to be tight. Because if you look at it, right, first of all, we finally get to see like it's not even fully fit, but we get to see Hakimi versus Davies for a stretch, I'm sure. Because that there's a whole other conversation with those two teams, Morocco and Canada, where they have right wingers who have been pretty invisible so far. Like now, I do think Tejon had a better defensive game versus South Africa, and that certainly helped, especially in building it back. But Brahim Diaz has been. There were times in the game yesterday I was just like, "Is he on the pitch?" And then he'd pass the ball. I'm like, "Oh, I see the 10. He's in this game." But between Brahim Diaz and Tejan Buchanan, someone on the right side of VCs that isn't their fullbacks needs to step up because listen, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I'm rooting for Canada, but also I need Morocco to make a deep run for my Hakimi Gold Ballon d'Or agenda. So I don't get to win anything. I just suffer. But Hakimi was everywhere yesterday, up and down the right hand side. It didn't matter that Brahim was struggling. He was everywhere, and he's going to be a handful to deal with. Plus, Saibari has done a good job filling as a striker for them. You have Wadi, who has just come in and just like, oh, by the way, yeah, former France U20 captain, recently, and now he's just like, yeah, by the way, I'm this good. The midfield battle will be very interesting. The one comment I saw for uh, the Netherlands versus the other comment I saw for the Netherlands versus Morocco was the strategy maybe didn't help them, right? They were getting overrun in the midfield to a degree, and if that's the case, that's gonna be uh, because looking at that, I'm gonna go back to that lineup here just to take a look at what was available in that lineup. I think it was a midfield trio versus a midfield duo. Yep, correct. It was a trio versus a duo, right? De Jong and Gravenberch versus Wani El Anouawi and then Bouadi. And like you could see the one thing that you get from Morocco, it's wave after wave of the same level. And so Mustako definitely helped for Canada, but I guess he's gonna have to do everything to help that out. But as we end this delay, we got Nelson who just showed up here again. Good evening, good sir.
What up?
Well, outside, little stuffy allergies, life is good.
Oh, dude, it's so
But
hot. I don't even know how you got allergies. It's
listen,
boiling outside.
listen. Yeah. I took out the weed whacker this morning
Mm.
and then I,
You
like
did
like a
you did your grass today? Holy.
yeah. Well, it's gonna rain tomorrow. So then I can't do my grass for and then it's supposed to rain every day like here for till
Hmm.
like Tuesday. So it was today or you have the savannah you have to cut. So
Oh, true.
I'm choosing
I cut
listen,
my
I
grass on the
went out with a
weekend.
weed whacker at 11. I came
Yeah.
back, I looked like I ran the streets.
Oh, I believe you.
It
So
was
what
just
what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
well, we were talking about everything, and then Kilmes, brought up the Morocco aspect, and I started, giving different points from the Canada matchup. But we kind of quickly, because we're in this delay here, we kind of went through the games
Hmm.
that happened today, right?
Hmm.
Uh, what happened with Cote d'Ivoire versus Norway, and then
I
France doing
really don't understand a lot of these coaches. I think a lot of these coaches are clearly panicking. For instance, again, this coach has done this twice now. In the first game with Ivory Coast, he benched Ahmad for Bazumana Toure, who I rate, but I think the lights were too bright for him for his first time out.
yeah,
Ahmad comes on. Ahmad is clearly their best player. This game, same thing happens. He benches Ahmad for Pepe. Um, again, doesn't seem to be working out. And then Ahmad joins. He scores a wonderful goal, dribbling past three players.
yep,
Um, but like we said this, I said this. Norway against almost every African side matches up poorly, just so poorly. The physicality of I don't understand how this is working, but Soloth on the wing is so funny to me, but it's so effective
yeah.
because it doesn't matter which kind of fullback you play there. He's a 6'5"
It's just
giant. You
it's
know,
like what do
he
you
looks bigger than Haaland because
he
Haaland is
does.
more lean. Haaland is a leaner. You would assume Haaland might play better on the wing because he's quick. He's got a bit of footwork. No, Soloth is just really impressing me on the wing consistently. But wonderful goal from Nusa. Crazy quick feet. from Nusa
Yes.
to adjust his feet quickly to take that shot. Haaland yet again. I think he scored in every game for them. Was like he has a crazy stat. Haaland. Um, he's actually going low key in this World Cup. We've been seeing a lot about Mbappe and Dembele and obviously the big dogs, but Haaland has just been consistently consistent as he normally is.
He he is, and even on the goal that he scores. I
Mm,
mean, my question is, I get that you're trying to defend and close it off, but you there's a funny meme that happened after Alfonso Davies scored the wonder goal he scored against Panama in World Cup qualifying.
mhm.
And it's Deportes Panamanian TV, and the commentator's like, It's Alfonso Davies. What? Why are you giving up on the play effectively?" And my response to that is, I don't care who is there. You don't over rotate away from Erling Haaland. You never do that. Yes, the pass gets through, but when you look at it, the pass goes through, and all there's three Ivorians who start to rotate towards. I think it's Odegaard who makes the pass.
No, it wasn't Odegaard. It
It was
was. I thought it was Odegaard too. It was. Oh, damn it! I'll tell you who it was. It wasn't Odegaard.
oh wait,
Odegaard was the one who made the initial pass.
yeah.
I'll tell you
Oh,
who it is
Berg.
in a
It's
second.
Berg.
Yeah, Berg. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I know, because even the commentator said Odegaard, and it was wrong.
yeah.
It wasn't. It was Berg. Yeah,
But
but you're right because and the funny thing is, it was all three defenders.
yes,
Kessie's the one who noticed Haaland was open, and he was trying to beeline to cut the
lane off.
to
Yeah,
cut the lane, but you know what? I take that as people are saying. A lot of people are saying it was kamikaze defending from Ivory Coast, but I think what Ivory Coast had done was they were slowly getting back into the game, and because they were slowly getting back into the game, they kind of left space. And in this game, you notice the missing of Singo because
mm,
Singo was so important in going forward and covering players. Dude, like Kusino, as much as I rate Kusino excuse me, 6'2". He's not the biggest guy. Singo's big. He's a big, fast, rapid player who has really good defensive coverage. I think you play him. Due had that one pass, like Pepe played in Due, but he didn't want to turn into space, which is kind of odd.
yeah,
I think, honestly, all in all, Norway just outmatched or it was a better tactical setup, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mhm.
How I
But
brought up the point.
Ulai played very well. I like
Yeah,
he 40 million. Any single top European club should be going for that kid. That kid is him. This is a very good kid. He can play 6, 8, and 10. We saw Lamine Kamara struggle to do that, and he plays for a higher level team in Monaco.
yeah.
All due respect to Trabzonspor, but you're not, you're not one of the big dogs, to be honest.
True. One of the things I pointed out with the first half for Cote d'Ivoire is right before Nusa scores, it's set piece and it's specifically corner after corner after corner. I think they had about 7 corners before Norway scores. And yes, I'm asking you to score against Sorloff, Holland, and the rest of the 6'2" team. But you can't create that many set piece opportunities and not have anything to show for it. And yes, they have to work their way back in the game. That to me is like the first thing I look at in a game where I'm like, but you had because I remember I was watching the
Nah,
game.
Akwasi, that's really harsh. I'll tell you why it's really harsh.
Tell me what.
They tried multiple different routines. They tried crossing it in, an in swinger. They tried an out swinger. They tried playing it short. They tried everything. As you said, the problem is when you're crossing it in, Haaland is 6'5", Solot is 6'5", Sanderberg is 6'3", Aya is 6'4", Hegem is 6. It doesn't matter. You're not winning. You would need it to be a perfect cross and have a perfect header. By
Yeah,
the way, remember they had that one really good header. There was one good header from I can't remember who it was. There were two players who jumped at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it hit someone's shoulder, and then it should have been in. It should have gone in. But if you say that, how many headers did Norway have in their set pieces
Oh,
that you
agree.
thought, oh, that was going to be a goal?
Oh, that's a fair counterpoint to that point. I think for me, it's just they. I look at it as yes, it was difficult to do that, but you're giving yourself those opportunities. You're giving yourself those chances, and it was the thing the thing that I commented to my dad when I was watching it with him. I was like, this feels like if they aren't able to convert here, and yes, I know it's difficult. It feels like Norway's just going to come back after a few sequences that they miss, and then they'll punish them, and they'll be up 1-0, and then we'll look at them and say,
But how many chances did Ivory Coast create that game?
how many chances?
Yeah. I didn't see a lot of clear-cut chances that they made.
Well, what? Yeah, let me look first half. They didn't
Yeah,
have many,
they
first half.
didn't have many. They only
Yeah.
had one in the first half. And this also includes things like corners and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
off of them, yeah.
Yeah, so they had Norway had 2, and then they matched up 2-2. So yeah, this honestly, this was the first game I will comfortably say Norway were clearly the better team. To me, for me at least.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And it happens. Some teams just match up. You just match up poorly. You know, it's not a question of whether you have better players. I do think they should have played Ahmad. The thing that I think the coach went for is he needs to match their physicality somehow. But I think the defensive line could match up. You're not going to win everything. You just need to win some. But what you needed, though, was when you attack, you had players who could hold onto the ball in the attack. And by playing Pepe and Bonnie, they actually messed that up. You just need one of them. And then, if you remember, at the end, he benched Bonnie and Pepe, brought in Bazumana Toure, and brought in Evan Gesson. And I have watched enough of Evan Gesson at Aston Villa to be like, he is not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, he just isn't. So, for me, Ahmad should have started that game. But even if he starts, I still think that attack quality is one of the best in this tournament. And people are sleeping on Norway. Norway have one of the best attacks in this tournament, period. Nusa, Haaland, Sola. And then behind them, with Sanderberg and Odegaard, that's an amazing midfield. No hate on the other Berg, but come on, Sanderberg and Sanderberg, I guess is how you pronounce it, and Odegaard are just they're so good.
No, they do. I think they're definitely an interesting side. So with that, again, they have Brazil next round.
Who Norway? Norway play Brazil.
Yep.
Whoo! I couldn't even tell you. The thing about Brazil is they just have a lot of talent. The issue is will Carlo Ancelotti end up doing the same mistake that Ivory Coast did and bench like Cunha, or maybe play Cunha on the left, maybe bring back Igor Thiago because of the height. I think here's the thing. If you're Brazilian, this is the time you have to bench Marquinhos. Marquinhos cannot play against that attack. Marquinhos against Haaland, give over. You're not doing, come on. But the midfield, I think the midfield works because the issue we were talking about in terms of aerial ability.
Yeah.
Brazil have some aerial monsters.
Yeah.
Gabriel for Arsenal was amazing in set pieces. Casemiro scored all his goals from set pieces. Igor Thiago is amazing at set pieces. I think that team actually matches up. The physicality Brazil can play with can match up very well with Norway. So actually, I think that's closer to Brazil. I'm edging it. The question is just which team does he pick? Igor Thiago should start. That's it. That he just shouldn't play. Oh no, sorry. He shouldn't start. He can come on if you think you need that physicality. You need someone who can hold the ball up. But that front three of Neymar, um, Cunha, and Ryan at this point is the best front three.
Neymar or Vinny?
Ah, Vinny. I meant Vinny. Sorry, I
Like,
forgot
sir,
about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, so he's out here putting up numbers, and you're just like, yeah, well, he's out here
No,
doing
he is. Hey, I'm a big Vinny. I'm a big Vinny fan, man. And Mbappe has ruined his last season. That's why people were kind of slating him. I think he actually did well in the previous season. I think Vinny, as I've said, on his day for 20 minutes in a game, Vinny's the best left wing in the world for
it.
that 20-minute spell.
No one can stop him.
No one. I've
Even
seen
the
Mbappe get stopped. Vinny, that run where they won the Champions League, Vinny carried Real Madrid to the Champions League. Hard, and it's a hard carry. They went against hard teams, and Vinny was the solution. And then guess what? They bring Mbappe, and Vinny never looked the same again. He should leave. He should leave.
we'll definitely have that conversation post World Cup based off of who has priced themselves out, who is looking to make a point, all the things. Hey, and
Well, it's a thing we should. I don't think we need to wait for the end of the World Cup. I think there are players already that have kind of proven that their level is higher than where they are now. I think that a lot of players you can say, like Saibari looks like a steal already for Bayern Munich. For 55 million euros, that's a steal.
Hmm.
He can play striker, he can play 10, he can play on the wings. That's a steal for me.
that's fair. That's fair. And then we're just doing the anthems here right now. France versus Sweden was just it was the Mbappe Olise show. It was the Mbappe Olise show. It's funny watching France where they're just it feels like every game it's like someone else. You're like, oh yeah, this player's here. This was just like, oh yeah, okay. The Dembele had his moment, and both Mbappe gets the bump, but I think Olise was just everywhere in this game. He
Mm.
really he had the game where it's like, okay, Dembele had his moments. Mbappe's got the goals here, but hey, this game, okay, like I'm here too, guys. I'm definitely here too. And they went with Barcola over Doué, which hey worked out. Barcola gets a third goal for them. But quick thoughts on that matchup before we get to this Mexico Ecuador matchup here.
I think I think it's time to just accept the only team that could probably beat the only two teams that could probably make France sweat is Spain and Argentina. I think all the other ones are probably going to struggle against them. I think Brazil would struggle. Brazil would really struggle with that midfield. They haven't figured that out yet. Um, I think Argentina and Spain are good. Maybe it'd be interesting to see how France plays England, just because England have a lot of runners, but we've seen they have an issue with controlling games. They can't really pass well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I wasn't like. Were you shocked? Netherlands beat
No.
Sweden. Like they played them like it was a B team. You know,
No, I
they
wasn't
didn't even
shocked at
take them
all.
seriously. So Elanga yet again. Elanga's a very interesting player because he looks so poor for club. And it's for him, it seems your team just has to play counter-attacking football. That's the only way you're gonna get the best out of him. But yeah. It didn't really shock me. I knew France were gonna beat them. That was like
Oh,
the
for sure.
obvious. And 3-0 is kind of similar to what Netherlands beat them. Netherlands scored what, 4 goals on them? Then the game ended like 4-2 or something.
It was like 4-2, I believe.
Yeah. Let me check just to
Let me
make
check
sure.
real quick.
I thought I know it was they scored 2. No, 5-1. Sorry, 4-2. I gave them an extra goal.
Oh, right.
5-1.
Sweden went
Yeah,
5-1 on
5-1.
Tunisia. Then they got 5.
Yeah,
Then they
then
got
they considered 5-1. Yeah. So
yeah.
so yeah, if Netherlands beats you 5-1, bro, France are gonna beat you by minimum 2 goals. It was going to be a
Yeah,
minimum of 2 goals. So there's really nothing to talk about. As you said, Elise played well. Dembele played okay. Mbappe again, just clinical. But this, so who does? So France plays who in the next one?
Paraguay, Paraguay, they play.
Dude, Mbappe's getting he's start
Oh,
padding all the way. He's
Mbappe, Mbappe's gonna have the record for
wait.
goals
So let
scored.
me get this right. So they play Paraguay,
Yep.
and then they play Morocco, and
Yeah.
then because let's be
Yeah.
honest, if for some miracle Canada goes through, France would love to play Canada because they're gonna score 7, and then after that they play. So they play the winners of Portugal, Spain, Austria, US, Bosnia. So I'm gonna just say it's Spain because I think Spain is the strongest of those 8 teams.
Yeah.
So they face Spain in the semifinal. Here's a funny thing: Spain beat them.
Yeah.
Spain is one of the few countries to actually beat France. So they could get knocked out in the semifinals, but the Spain team they faced was a lot stronger. Yamal was a lot healthier. Nico Williams was good. I like Oyazabal. I know people are really looking down on him. I've always been a big fan of him. I wanted him at United. But dude, that Nico Williams Yamal attack was
It
something
was
else.
something else.
That's something else. I'm not joking. I like that attack more than I liked the first Spain, the one that actually won the World Cup with was it with Vicente del Bosque, I think it was. Um I prefer that one. I prefer the Yamal Nico Williams attack. Just because it's like a swan song, you know? When your defender's tired of being destroyed by Yamal, the ball would go to Nico Williams and you're like, oh my god. They're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And they can both play on each other's wings. I think the previous one you had Pedro who couldn't really dribble, but he could, he had the ability to hold on to the ball. You had the David Villa who was a good goal scorer, but again, let's be honest, that Spain it's a Spain midfield that really carried them. It was the Xavi and Iniesta scored bare goals for them. It wasn't even like the tops. It wasn't the strikers. It was Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. That was the key, you know. But I like this one. I like that one more. But if Yamal is not 100%, Nico Williams obviously isn't 100%. I'm not
No,
sure. We'll see.
yeah, it definitely gets interesting there. Uh,
Mhm.
it definitely does. But again, like as we said, I'll go real quick as we're just going through the refs here. Portugal, Croatia plays the winner of Spain, Austria, and those two will play in the quarterfinals. The winner of USA, Bosnia versus Belgium, Senegal, which could be, if you go based off what they did in the groups or where they finished in the groups specifically, it would be Belgium, United States in the round of 16. I could see Senegal beating Belgium. I could also see Belgium playing Senegal. That matchup is the disappointment bowl to me.
Yeah.
Two teams that just
Whoever wins, they don't even go far. That's the point.
yeah.
It's the whoever shows up.
Yes. Indeed.
And it's just a question of does Paptiao think, oh, Koulibaly's been out of the firing range long enough. I'm just gonna put him back in once we face Belgium. And I know Lukaku could be licking his lips thinking about playing Koulibaly.
I was about to say that the most absurd thing. Does he think Koulibaly will have the physicality for Lukaku? And as I started, I was like,
No,
you're right.
that's probably. I'm not kidding. I think that's
That
what
would
he's
be
thinking.
logic.
That's exactly his logic. He still thinks Koulibaly's physicality is like from 10 years ago. Because Koulibaly has been poor for a long time now. It's not like a recent thing. We're not insulting the guy, you know? He hasn't been good. When he left Chelsea, he was really poor. And he's not even in Europe? I thought he's in Saudi.
I thought he was Saudi, but let me confirm
Yeah.
that here.
Like he's not even. I don't understand why you're playing him when you have actual options. I can understand if you don't have options, but
Yeah, he's Saudi.
yeah, like the
Al
guys.
Hilal.
Yeah, he's at Al Hilal with isn't Al Hilal Ronaldo's team?
No, I thought.
Oh no, he's at Al Nassr. He's at Al Nassr.
Yeah,
Al Hilal is what? Maris?
Al
I'm
Hilal
gonna I'm gonna
is.
find out
Right.
who's in that
It's
team.
Benzema's team.
Oh, Benzema. Okay, okay.
Yes. Right.
I knew there was a
Keita.
top player. Oh, and Milinkovic Savic. And I'll never
Yes.
forget you. And Marcus Leonardo, a guy he killed his career by going to Saudi. Absolutely killed his career.
And
Poor guy.
apparently Theo Hernandez. Like, I'm finding out everyone is on this team. Like, what?
Well, you know why Theo Hernandez is there though. We
Yes.
really shouldn't talk about it, but yeah.
Yes, we
He's not there because of his lack of ability. He has ability, but there's a reason why he's there.
it's the tray. It's the trail of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and his wife need to sort shit out before.
Or go their separate ways. Oh yeah.
Ah, yeah. But isn't he going to? I remember, like initially, his case. You know what? We don't talk about it. Let's
Yeah,
move on. I'm not into discussing those kinds of really sensitive topics.
Yeah, that's
Like that's the topics I don't mind talking about. That's one of them. I'm like, you know what? Let's just move on. Just yet another bad situation. So who are you taking between Mexico and Ecuador?
Look, the home field bump should give Mexico the edge. I'm going to lean on the fact that, as I say this, they almost give up a free kick. I'm going to lean on the fact that we've seen an Ecuador side that have created chances that just haven't finished, and maybe this is where the finish shows up. So,
but you see, my thing is, you saw with Paraguay, your last game really helps you.
Yes,
because they beat Germany in the last game. I think they're probably coming into this a lot more assured, as opposed to like what they've gone through in the last 3 games.
And so you have that plus a side versus a side who've been confident and gone, haven't lost, haven't drawn, haven't done anything but win. So the one thing but the one thing I'm curious about is how much respect Mexico will give Ecuador in terms of their attacking ability and like how deep they'll want to sit back with this. Right now, they're playing a lot more open and build up because Ecuador is choosing to be the defending counter side. But I wonder how much respect they give them when they have to have the build up. But still 0-0 is the score. And I'm actually going to run and get some antihistamines here because you can hear me start to just get congested here. So I will be back in a flash. It's all you, Alice.
So, Stefan, why was Bonnie a disappointment? If you're still here, because I don't think we had high hopes on Bonnie, to be honest with you. Even though he did take a spot, I think he's just a player kind of given a role to do. I don't think he's like an elite player. I think Wahi is technically a better striker than him, even though I'm not a big fan of Wahi. Heck, I would have played Pepe as a striker and then played Amad Diallo on the wing. But as it stands, for me, I still think the knockout rounds are basically gone this way. If you have more quality, you're basically winning. So to me, Ecuador is going to win. Simple as that. Simple as that, really, for me. Let's see. But I'm really happy with the games. These games have been excellent the whole way. Let's see. Mexico the ball at the moment. Ecuador sitting deep. I think Mexico need to be really careful. If they push too many players and disrespect the ability of this team for counterattacking, they might suffer. But hey, home field advantage actually makes a big
It
case.
does. And
Oh, I
that's where
say
like
that and I'm like, ooh, dude, you are being so greedy, man. You should have freaking played the boy in. Bro, you had an actual opportunity to push. This is a thing that I've noticed with a lot of these like home nations. People are trying their best to put their names, put their names in the history books.
uh everybody wants to be the hero.
Oh yeah.
And maybe that's good.
Yo, Mexico have been dominating them for the last. Oh. Yo, Mexico been dominating Ecuador, by the way. Last 7 minutes, it's all been Mexico.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Great cross from Romo to Jimenez.
Yeah. They're moving. They're attacking so that they can't get. Oh yeah, I just saw that. But they're moving. They're moving the ball before Ecuador can get set up, and I think that's the idea, so they don't have to build up. But hey, that I just see that cross. Okay,
I've noticed like the even though I prefer the British streams, they are significantly behind.
yeah, fair enough.
They're like a minute, sometimes 2 minutes behind. So I'm stuck with my TSN where I can. Dude, Ecuador haven't had like any control of the game whatsoever.
That's a
Like
very accurate statement.
they haven't held the ball at all. Oh, wow, rookie mistake. Dude,
The
I know
stat
Jimenez has been holding on to his like headpiece thing like superstition, but he needs to throw that thing away. It probably affects his heading.
it probably does, but hey, he's been buzzing around so far. So
How many goals does he have? Does he only have like one?
in this tournament, yeah, I believe so. Because only Quinones has two or more than one.
Good ball.
Very nice ball.
Oh, good from Pacho. Is that Pacho? This is number 6.
Which side?
Ecuador.
6 Ecuador is it's Pacho.
Yeah.
It is.
Just so the
Like
long
yeah,
limbs, his ability to, you can tell that guy covers so much for Marquinhos at PSG. Really good
yeah.
player.
But like you said, right now, 10 minutes in, 82-18 is the ball possession, and I think it's more.
The
But
problem with Ecuador is that Ecuador have always started slow and then
yes,
build up. So just because Mexico had a lot of this possession doesn't mean anything at the end of the day.
fair enough. Fair enough. Alrighty. Yeah, that scroll. So 0-0 still. But now Ecuador onto the ball. Like Vite, I see you. Vancouver legend.
Anything you've learned from this World Cup?
Other than I expected it to be up and down type of World Cup, and it's still that. Huh.
Where you expected it to be like this?
I thought it'd be a lot more. No, I think the temperature definitely cut into it in terms of it being cooler, and then I think all the
Let me explain. You expected Germany to be knocked out already.
no.
You expected
I meant I was making a comment on the pace of play.
mm,
Was I expecting Germany to knock out this early? No. To that point, um, I don't know if it's just me or if I'm noticing this. I don't teams seem to be, and maybe it's just the nature of the games and just the stakes of those games. But
mm,
teams that are just they score a goal and then they're just content to sit back, whether they score in the first minute or the 81st minute.
mhm.
And to me, like that's the Japan Brazil round of 32 game. To an extent, that is also the chipped in the middle, but no in the middle for Ecuador, clear. Like that's also to an extent after Cote d'Ivoire scores against Norway. I feel like they just sit back there and are like, yeah, we're gonna
I don't think
take
so. I'm pretty sure after Ivory Coast scored, Ivory Coast had a lot of the ball. Like I think what happened was Norway's substitutions changed the game because they just gave them like a lot more energy. Whilst any of the people that were subbed in for Ivory Coast, they just didn't do enough. Like if you think about it, Pepe comes off while he comes on. Did he
yeah,
do anything? No. Ahmad
no,
did something, right? Ahmad
yep.
was the only one who actually did something good. But that's about it, to be honest with you. Like I'm with you on the defensive thing, but I think it's not because defending is the issue. I think it's because the teams that are trying to defend, that's not their game. Japan hasn't been a defensive team.
Mm.
It's why it was so funny that they thought defending a 1-0 lead is actually a good tactic.
Yeah, because I would have argued if they had stayed open for a little more, there was opportunities for them.
Yeah,
Just
they actually they threw away that game because by the
yeah,
time the goal comes in that equalized,
mhm,
they were now playing catch up. But
mhm,
because they've been like think about it's not just the pressure of playing in such a high intense game, but it's also the defensive coverage just takes way more toll on you because it's easier to attack than it is to
mhm,
defend. Because you're defending, the your mindset is I can't fuck up. For the attack, it's I need to try something. Completely
mhm,
different mindsets, different game sets. Like it's why I've never understood why the only teams that have done defending well are teams that have extremely composed players. Italy back in the day, um, Argentina when they had really good defensive players. I'm thinking about like the Javier Mascherano era stuff like that.
mhm,
Um, but if you're looking at outside of those like really unique defensive teams, most teams are just balanced who win World Cups, who win tournaments. You're just a balanced team. You have good attack, good defense, good midfield, and that's how you win games. That's how you win tournaments.
mhm.
So hey, Japan, I think they learned a good lesson. Don't do that ever again.
Is
It's
is
simple.
Japan slowly like and I need to look at 22 to before I make this type of a statement. How do you mess up this 2 on corner? But you play him earlier, you have a better shot with the corner coming in for Mexico. What did Japan do in the 2022 World Cup?
Uh,
No,
I,
they were
I
grouped,
think
were they
no,
not? No,
yeah,
they got out
no,
of the
no, no,
group.
no. They got out of the group.
Yeah,
I
because they
I think
beat
I think
Germany.
did they go to round of 16? Uh, Japan WC 2022.
They
They
fall
got
to Croatia
to
in the round of 16. Okay, there
round
it
of
is.
16. Yeah, I remember. I remember they got to round of 16.
Okay,
I
so
was like,
now,
yeah.
mhm. So here's the take with he- Japan in the last 3 round of 16s have
Mhm.
held the lead,
Whew.
lost the lead, and lost the game.
Yeah, they haven't been able to hold on to leads.
Yeah.
But it's because I think the problem is the way they're setting up. They score early, and instead of continuing attacking, they panic. What gets them out of groups is their consistent attacks. It's
Mhm.
not the defending; it's the attack that helps them. They're not good enough to defend leads at this moment. They could get better players coming up that help them, but at the moment they just have really good attackers. But
Mhm.
also, let's give them some credit. Three of the best players won to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, we also have to give them a lot of credit here, because if you're losing um Takefusa Kubo,
Hmm.
Endo, and the guy at Brighton, what's
Matoma.
his name? Mitoma. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
those are three elite. And by the way, all those are all attack-minded players. So you're losing
Mm.
composure. You're losing a lot of attacking outputs, and they still look
Mm.
good. They still look like a good attacking unit. So
Gilmore with a narrative there. Hey, hey, the moment's not too big for him so far.
Gilmore, who's Gilmore?
Gilberto Mora.
Oh, dude, you kill me with just call him Mora. I'm like Gilmore. Is a Scottish player. I was like, Billy Gilmore.
Gilmore. Like,
I was like, what
oh,
the hell are you talking about? Yeah, just call him Mora. I know who Mora is. I don't know who to say Gilmore. I'm like, what
yeah.
the hell?
I'm going full names. I'm sorry.
I'm like,
Okay, apologies for this. Like Nelson only knows certain names, like Luke de Figueroa, and only
no,
knows
I
Mora.
know names because I watch football. I don't know someone called Gilmora or
That's how
Gilmore.
we always
I know
refer in CONCACAF.
who's
We say
we.
it's Gil Mora. Yeah, Gil Mora.
Ooh! Oh boy, what a meg! Bang, bang! Oh, Ecuador, just like that. Ecuador almost score. Oh, and the keeper got something to it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy that sort of the keeper actually saved that. I thought the ball just swerved out. The keeper actually got a touch to it.
Hmm. Similar to like the Vinny run where Suzuki gets a thumb on it and that gets it to
Mm,
the post versus game beat. But yeah,
yeah.
Ecuador are certainly alive. What for you? What's
Mhm.
something that stood out for you for this World Cup so far?
I thought, just like you, we talked about this. I thought that he would play a massive part, but I thought that the four quarters thing, or the 2 quarters and a half,
Hmm.
um, I thought that we would see more tactical shapes, more tactical setups, a little bit more, a lot more chess games. I should say,
Mm.
but we really haven't seen that, and maybe it's because the quality of the coaches for the national teams just aren't good enough. I think
Mhm.
what you've seen is, and it's also maybe because they don't have time to coach different tactical setups. They probably just go, I have one setup that works, and the only thing that I'll change is the personnel.
Mm.
But I thought it makes more, like, if they put those hydration breaks at club level, I I guarantee you'll see tactical shifts. You
Mm.
saw how much adding two substitutes changed club football. You
Yes.
know, just adding two, moving from three substitutes to five, changed a lot. It changed the difference between how big teams play and small teams was
Hmm.
immense. So the fact that that hasn't actually impacted the game has been really surprising to me. But the heat has only come in right now. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
Now is when the
Yeah,
heat is
this is
starting.
the first real,
Yeah, this is the
and Mexico
first
just
true
has
week.
the rain. It cooled it down a bit for them, so they're doing. It's a crisp evening. It's like 17 degrees there right now.
I
So
don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that the Mexican players are coming out like that. Come on. That's crazy. What's going on? What happened? Dude, that's okay. That's okay, man. That's not a that's I hate when you see And that's a part I hate about the passion that South American footballers have when they try and like surround and try and play the ref to get a card or something. That was a
Yeah,
good no, that wasn't a foul. It was a 50-50, but Jimenez hadn't set his feet yet, so that's why he flew.
true, true, true.
But hey, Mexico somehow win the ball again, but we keep it moving. Mexico playing the refs. It's you know what? It's not a bad play. If I'm Mexico, I'm at home advantage. You have to play the refs. Make the refs make hard decisions.
That's true. And the one thing that the Mexicans like Mexico will make sure when VAR was like really starting to get going,
Mm-hmm.
they would make sure things would get going. Ooh, this is where it sucks being this behind. Alrighty.
Oh my God,
Looks like we got a goal
Rodriguez
coming
is
here.
through. Woo! Whew. Apparently, Rodriguez is he American or something? Or he's from a different country. But he also could play for Mexico, and he chose Mexico. I need to remember his story.
Which one?
The black dude.
Quinones, you mean?
Oh, is it Quinones? Quinones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Quinones is a Colombian youth.
Oh, Colombian. That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
know he was from a different country. I just didn't know which one. Ooh, he's super onside. Dude, he's rapid though.
Yeah.
What a finish. What a finish.
Naturalized because he was playing he was U20 Colombia and then he was playing in the Mexican League for years and then he got naturalized and yeah,
Dude,
he is
that one goal has basically I love scenes. I love the vibe in stadiums where
yeah.
people lose their crap.
A
Brother, it's
there is
okay. You're playing for Ecuador.
yeah.
You guys will come back. You guys will try something.
There are a few stadiums in CONCACAF and like every country has one that you've seen where it's like going. But you give me Azteca, you give me that guttural just joy and yell, goosebumps. I'm like, yeah, we're good. I can go to bed now. My World Cup experience has been nice. But Quinones has been, yeah, he has been. It's not even been his coming out party because he was playing well at club too. But this is if you were unfamiliar with his game, don't be unfamiliar anymore.
Well, he played well in the first game. He played
Mhm.
really well in the first game. I like this player though. I like the Ecuadorian striker, the guy who came in the second game, I believe, and he
The
actually
Plata.
started to change them. Yeah.
Yeah.
The blonde head kid.
Mhm.
Yeah, him. I don't know. Do you know? Wait, what does he play? I've never seen that kid.
So Plata is at Flamingo.
Oh, Brazil.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Flamengo have a good system too, so he must be really good.
They do have a good system, yeah. So he's playing Brazil, getting it done. But Plata.
This is why I love the World Cup because you get to see players that you would never see. I don't watch the Brazilian league.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't watch Argentinian league. I don't watch MLS. I have way too much time watching other leagues. I watch way too many other
that
leagues.
Bulgarian second division really gets you. I hear you.
No, I watch the Kenyan league. I watch the European leagues. Because I like watching good football, and the Brazilian league I just don't have access to it. You know.
Let me actually.
What a goal, though! What a goal!
Indeed.
I don't think you've got there yet, but it's a cooling break,
Well,
hydration break, as they call it.
brought to
This is
you
cooling break.
by Powerade. Are you
Yeah,
hydrated?
I moved away
Is it
from
in
TSN
you?
because I know it's going to be 5 commercials of Michelob Ultra. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Game over. Game over. I love you, Joe David, but like, yo, this, yo, this. I love a Mexican crowd that feels like they're one cheeseburger away from being unhinged. It's just yes, I need this energy in my life right now. But yeah, it's been all Mexico so far. And did I mention it's been all Mexico? But yeah, they have
I know.
1-0.
I think Ecuador looked like they were waking up, and then that break because
That goal,
it
yeah,
was in transition. It wasn't like a like
yeah,
multiple passes. That was
mhm,
pure brilliant transition because Ecuador were pushing up now. Ecuador
yeah,
filling themselves. So this is a
mhm,
good. This is a way to shut up a big team. Like you have to
yeah.
punch him so that everything.
But definitely good start for Mexico. No doubt about it. 1-0 for them, and they have, hey, all they need now is just the two for it to really go insane. And now they are now hydration break is where they're sitting. Just to give you guys a little bit. Nilson Angulo, who has the number 20 blonde hair for Ecuador, he's at Sunderland,
What?
which is yeah.
Oh well, their number one striker is Brobby, so that's probably why I don't see him much.
Hmm.
Angulo's on, sorry, but the blonde head, the guy with the mohawk.
Okay. Mohawk. Ooh, do do do.
Okay, brother, I'll open up Sofa School.
Yeah, I'm looking at it because I'm like, you first I said it was Plata, and Plata's at Flamingo, but then I was like, blonde hair. I'm like, oh, maybe you meant Angulo. So let me go check on Angulo just to be sure. But
I'll check. I'll let you know who I'm talking about.
do what you must, sir.
I don't know. It is. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
If it's moist, I can say though, I'm fighting you.
No, it's Angulo. Angulo's who I'm thinking of,
Okay.
and Angulo is.
Sunderland
Let's
till
see,
I die.
season Sunderland. I want to see how many games he played.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, he played 8 games. Yeah, that guy barely played. I
Hey, but
was like, yeah,
all that
I watch,
training.
I watch the Premier League like religiously. So I'm like, I should have recognized you, but never see like not never seen him, but he didn't come across as someone I'd seen a lot.
Who got
But I
regular
know
minutes? Yeah,
Brobby is the number one, the
yeah.
Netherlands striker. He's their number one striker.
Hmm. But 1-0. Quinones on the transition. Great finish. The stadium was rocking until the hydration break, and
Great
yeah, hey,
hustle from Mexico. Great hustle. Holy.
mhm,
Let me tell you, the temperature has changed in the on the pitch.
mm,
Ecuador have come out strong. I like that.
yes.
I think I'm going to be honest. I think Ecuador looked at Mexico and thought, you know, barbecue chicken. And
To
then
quote the great, yeah,
to grow the great O'Neill of Shaq,
that
barbecue
looks like
chicken,
barbecue chicken.
barbecue
Yes.
chicken. But hey, they've been taught this isn't your regular tournament. And all the
Hmm.
teams can beat you. If you don't show up, if Morocco doesn't show up, Canada will beat you.
This is
Good
what we
luck.
tell everyone. Yes,
Good luck.
this is what we tell everyone.
I was talking to a couple of Canadian friends, and they were like, "So how does Morocco play?" And I literally went, "Brother, we have no luck. we would need half that team to get like food poisoning. Do you remember the Brazil food poisoning situation? We would need something like that. If I'm Brazil from now till Saturday, you need to be shipping your food directly
Oh,
from
the
Brazil.
food is shipped. Oh,
You
it's
wait, you
coming.
scored again?
Oh,
Wait, no, wait. You can't be ahead of me. No, Jimenez. Oh,
Jimenez.
yo, Mexico belt to ass.
Yo,
What?
Ecuador, I love you guys. I do. But this, Mexico's saying something right here. And they're saying, want, we're winning the game. We're getting to a fifth game. The curse of 5. They're getting to 5. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I'm not saying that it's going to happen.
Brother, la
Could you
chancla.
imagine?
Whew.
It is, Mexico got this memo.
Yeah, you know what? You were right. You had said, you called this. I thought I'd seen Ecuador. I'm like, I'm still thinking about all the good players Ecuador have. You said, no, you need to think about the Azteca. You need to think about like the pressure and the level that Mexico doesn't lose at the Azteca.
They don't.
They don't. They've beaten some big dogs at the stadium. Who the hell is Ecuador? And by the way, they've been the better side. Like every time I'm thinking Ecuador kicking into second gear, they just shut them out. Oh, I say that.
I am not. It's just, man, it's great
Oh,
to see that place.
what? That was called as a. Wait,
But
no. They call that. That has to be a corner kick. The ref has been bought.
we were here already. Listen, let me update this here because I just dropped.
Brother, this could be a thrashing. This could be a thrashing, by the way.
This is how Mexico wants to get to their fifth game. Okay, actually, let me ask this question this way because it's not a takeaway from them. All right, but so the curse for the Mexican curse is that they never get to the quarterfinals. They can only get to the round of 16, which is usually where the thing at where they can get through the groups, not last World Cup, but then they'll fall in the round of 16, so they can't get to the fifth game. Now, because there's a round of 32, technically speaking, if they made the round in 16 and then lost in the round of 16, do we say the curse is broken, or does the curse have to be broken if they make the quarterfinals?
Well, isn't the curse that they don't get to the quarterfinals, so they need to get to the quarterfinals?
True, but yeah, but to the point, it's the quarterfinals was the fifth game. Now the fifth game is the round of 16.
Nah, they still need to get the quarterfinals. No one cares.
Okay.
It's
not to be me, but I'm just thinking about that. I was just like,
you have to be one. You have to be 1 of 8. That's how it works. It does. At the end, if you still finish 1 of 16, that's not how that works. So wait, if they win, who do they?
They play the winner of England, DR Congo.
Ooh.
Which is why, remember what I said yesterday.
Wait, you know what? You know what? The way Mexico are playing, England need to be worried
at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who they get. Mexico might move to England or Congo. I don't know why I'm just ignoring Congo, but actually do something. But let's be honest, they probably won't.
They're looking at Wan-Bissaka like it doesn't matter who you represent.
Is that game tomorrow?
Is that game tomorrow? The England game?
It must be. It must be.
No. Yes. It's tomorrow.
Because we have games from now till the weekend, right?
Yeah, it's 3 games a day until Friday, and then Saturday we go to the round of 16.
Which is 1 game a day or something, I'm guessing.
No, it's 2 games a day.
Oh, 2 games a day. Okay.
Yeah. Switch to
So hey,
Saturday, Sunday,
that
Monday.
game,
Yeah,
I might actually go live
do
because
what you
I'm
must,
definitely
sir.
watching. I'm definitely watching that game because also tomorrow is a holiday for us, which is why
Yeah,
I'll be more than available to watch those games.
most definitely.
Yeah.
But Mexico's moving. Listen, they're getting their fifth game, but technically the round of 16. So, and no, I'm not moving the goalpost because technically speaking, that's why I said Canada needs to make the round of 16 because it would have been like if they had made the round of 16 before. It's a standard. It'd be clearing your group. So that is the logic of why I said make the round of 16 for Canada. But 2-0 for Mexico, Jimenez and Quinones. You know what? You might as well just say
Yo,
that the
Jimenez,
team in yellow.
brother, Jimenez heard me say this guy's only scored one goal, and he went, "Huh?
Eh, hey, hey, hermano, hey, hermano,
Hermano."
dos, hey, dos. That's what he's saying to you.
Said
But
hermano.
no, it's you know what? I'll say the disrespectful thing. They must think they're playing a team in yellow in their opening matchup because this is they're buzzing. They are buzzing.
Oh my god. The cringe is strong with that one. Hey, you know what? We're at that age, Akwasi, where we do say cringe stuff all the time, and we're happy about it.
Listen,
I do that all
no
the
shame
time.
here.
Oh no, no shame. I
If you're
told you when a
Ecuador now, you're
20-year-old called
down
me Unc,
to
I was cooked.
yo. Let me tell you, I got called Unk. Was it 2 years ago?
By
And
what age though? What age?
they were like 14, 15.
Yeah, I can see that though, because 14,
Okay,
15, they could
but
technically be your kid, brother.
true,
20.
no, true. But here's what threw me off. They said it to me, and my first reaction was, "Oh, there must be someone older behind me." So I literally physically turned and I saw no one. I was like,
No, first of all,
"Excuse me."
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but Quinones just looked at Caicedo and told him to shush. And I'm like, brother, I know you're beating them, but I don't know.
Don't be
Caicedo's
waking
doing
up the
well.
beast this early.
Caicedo's doing well in life.
I was gonna say, like, if you're Ecuador, is it get one back before halftime and then you feel good about yourself?
I think what Ecuador needs to do is get rid of all the blonde hair.
Mm,
You need to go dye it in the in the. Oh, terrible.
yeah, but that's Colombia versus Ecuador right there. So like he grew. This is something that he was born in. Right? He was molded by this.
What a great finish from Raul Jimenez.
Truly gets it middle, puts it top bins. Well done, sir. My love of you with Wolves will never die. It will never die.
He's a Fulham now, right?
He just left Fulham, but yes, he was just.
Oh, where'd he go? He moved?
No, he didn't resign, so we don't know where he's gonna go.
Mm. So he really needs a good World Cup.
35-year-old, more than likely a backup winger. Yeah, either
Is that
that or
35-year-old?
Yeah, he's 35.
Oh, then there's no way. Who's going to take a 35-year-old winger? And plus,
Hello, Liga
he's
MX.
not really played wing. He's a striker.
Yeah,
I actually think he's still good enough to play in Europe. Maybe like a lower league.
yeah.
That was a good, by the way, good chance from Ecuador. But Ecuador have
I'm
a
gonna take a
corner.
look at it here. Is that your boy? Yep.
Bad. Dude, Caicedo's delivery has been poor this game. I need you to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. John
Bad,
Yeboah.
Bad corner, man. Quinones. Quinones?
Quinones. Yeah.
Quinones.
Yes.
Quinones.
Or you know.
Oh, oh, whew. Okay, that's what you need to do more, Ecuador. If you want to come back, you're gonna have to be your fullbacks just like that.
Mm.
Bang and put the ball in dangerous positions. You don't need your players to score. You just need the. It could be an own goal. You could get 2 own goals. By the way, what do you take about Yan Diomande? Every time he would take corner kicks, they would tell him that he's moving the ball outside the circle. Did you see that?
Mm. I noticed something like that, but I wasn't sure if I was just seeing that or if it was just a so
Every
yeah.
single time they kept telling him to retake it by moving the ball back. I'm like, what are you doing? You're killing the guy's momentum.
Mm.
The guy's about to do a run up, and you're like, no, 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 no.
It's off. It's off. It's like, sir,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
can it
I'm
just
like,
be
dude,
off,
what,
please? And
what is
thank you.
this? Oh, that's such a. Oh, they won a corner though.
But this is much better from them. This is a good
Yeah,
response.
more control possession, more.
Yep.
But this is what they were doing before, right? They control possession for a bit, and then Mexico just sucker punched them twice.
Mhm.
So if Mexico could score another one, kills the game.
Oh, most definitely.
Dude, we're back to proper pushing and shoving though.
Yes. CONCACAF getting its respect from.
Oh, they've stopped Caicedo from taking the corners.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the guy was those deliveries were so poor. What does the Mexico goalkeeper play? Is it Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rangel is at Raul Rangel is at Guadalajara.
Mm. Angie's pro Mexico at the moment, so she's
Oh, that's
making
one
fun
with
of
her.
him. Yeah,
Good for her.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't care which team wins. I just want to see good football, and Mexico have given us that immediately.
Yeah.
They're trying to tell France, hey, we can do this too. We could score 3 easy. Ooh, come on, Mora. Oi, the ball is a little bit too high for Jimenez. Great cross though.
Mhm.
Dude, Mora really reminds me of like old school wingers. Does he not? Like trickery, great ball movement. He plays on the right side and he's right footed. Great cross on him. I really like that. We don't really get those kind of wingers anymore.
It's just so he's such a joy.
Mora is
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
He's such a joy, but then also at the same time, as like a Canadian in CONCACAF, you're like, oh right, he's next. Got you. Right. So that's not gonna be fun. We are gonna have to deal with him for the next 12 years.
Dude, Quinones is so clear. Oh, make the run. Make the run. Make it easy for the freaking fullback. No, why would you take it first time? You donut. Okay, Jimenez, I know you're trying to score goals so you can get a better contract somewhere else. But if you played it to Quinones, you guys score. Come on. Don't be selfish, man.
At this point, we have to be selfish. How else do we get to 12?
No, that was a bad shot. That was just a bad sequence. But hey, good game though.
Yeah.
You can't say teams aren't creating chances. Oh, good try.
No,
Dude,
I
the
hear that.
cameras are actually shaking. That tells you
Oh
people
no,
are,
that's the best part about
yeah,
it.
people are jumping. How big's the capacity at this stadium?
Azteca, it's a little bit small because they added suites and stuff, but it should be
Like what, 60,000, 70,000?
no more than that.
Closer to 100K?
It is the capacity is 87,000.
Oh, that's a big stadium. That's a really
Yeah,
big stadium.
yeah. It's 87,523. 5 minutes of additional time, but that was clear here. But yeah, it's
You know what I like about the Mexican stadium and
mm.
like how the cameras are working here? They're not trying to show celebrities. They're like, this is where football fans are. This isn't
we,
like some, oh, look, this guy came to watch a game. No, 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 no. This is where true fans are. There's no discussion. We don't need to see Jimmy Butler wearing 3 hats. We don't need to see um you know Brad Pitt and Matt Damon
Edward
and
Norton talking.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't need to see that. We're just watching football, and
yeah.
I appreciate that.
To
Heck,
me, I'm just like,
even the
yeah,
Canadian games, we haven't been seeing, like, they're not really focusing. Only when maybe like Ryan Reynolds or something shows up do they.
yeah. But even
Yeah,
then, like you said, like it's not.
it's not a
Look,
spectacle. You know what I mean? Like
no, yeah, like
it's
in the states,
football.
it feels more spectacle. Just like, oh, here and
Yeah.
here, Senator. I'm like, I don't care. The ball is rolling. I don't care
Hmm.
if he's dribbling off of his, if he's throwing up and dribbling off of his shoulder. I want to see the action. You give it back. I don't care that. Oh, and if you look here, we have David Beckham's cousin, sisters, best friends, Instagram models, young niece. I'm like, no, I don't care. I don't care. Now the people who will call themselves the men of culture, they they both look that to me has been the funny thing because I'm just like you'll go onto Instagram, it's like, oh, you guys went to this game, interesting, good to know, good to know. I'll keep an eye out for that. Right,
I don't understand what men of culture means.
well, those who are understand that reference, or those who claim to be understand that reference.
No, I know the reference, but how, like, why would they show up at the World Cup?
Uh,
I'm lost. It's fine.
yeah,
I'm just,
let
I'll
us
just
let.
accept. I'll accept. Whoosh, whoosh. This is
Woo!
woo. It's just true, and I'm okay. It's okay. I don't need to know.
Yeah, it was the. It's like going to the Iraq game. This Iraq Senegal game was definitely like a interesting. Oh, and Ener Valencia is in this game. In case anyone was wondering, he's just not had anything to do.
Anna Valencia should have retired, just like how Tony Valencia retired. You need,
Hey,
at
I
some point,
remember.
you just need to accept, like, the game is gone. Like, it's moved on from you. You're not that
Yeah,
guy.
but they're providing leadership and checks notes experience, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, experience. Ecuador it'd be wiser, it'd be great for them to get a goal right before half just to get that positive feeling, or hit the post. That would be nice. Force a good save, just to know that you're still in this game and you're stinging the hands of the goalkeeper. But
Good tackle.
I'll see it in a minute.
Angola has been the only good attacking outlet from Ecuador, by the way.
Yep.
The only one. Like, Yeboah has had moments, but consistently, Angola has been getting to his spots over and over and over again. He's got the beating of that fullback. Like, you're seeing that double teaming him because he beats his fullback and then the other guy comes in with that support tackle. So it's gonna be interesting to see how just cross, man. I I am tired of people taking 7 touches to do a very simple task. Oh, I think the half is
Looks like the half is here. And ladies and gentlemen, if you thought Mexico wasn't up for the game, if you thought the rain delay may have slowed them down, you thought thunder and lightning would have discouraged them, let you know it didn't. All right. It did not. Quinones in the 22nd minute and Raul Jimenez in the 31st. 2-0 for Mexico over Ecuador. And they have been the better side. They have been a better side so far. You know what? Let's
do
take a
they
look
have players? Does Ecuador have players to come in and try and change the game? What do you think?
Let
Anyone that you
me.
know that we should be looking at? Happened
Everyone
to
that I would have suggested could have done is already on the pitch. Like Vite is already there. We all know Caicedo. So
I thought this Kendrick Pies guy was like highly rated. I thought he's like that new wonder kid that they have.
he could very well could be, but let me take a look to see.
He's a winger, but he plays obviously where your ball plays. So maybe they're like
Mhm.
they don't see the
So
need
let's
to
see.
play him.
Gonzalo Valle, Jackson Barroso, Felix Torres, Yamar Medina, Jordi Alvar, Kendry Paez. Paez wouldn't be a bad. Daniel Castillo, Angelo Preciado, Purvis Estupian, Anthony
Estupinian.
Valencia.
Estupinian plays for AC Milan. Wait, Anthony Valencia? The same? No, that's Antonio Valencia. Is what I was thinking about. You made me go. Wait, what a wait a second. They called Antonio Valencia.
Anthony Valencia,
Yeah,
yes.
Anthony. I've never heard of that one. What does he play?
He plays in, well, I know what you know.
Oh, Antwerp, Royal Antwerp.
Yep.
Interesting. But anyone, yeah, I agree with you. I think the best players are on the pitch at the moment,
Mhm.
but they must have like some young players. Like as you said, Anna Valencia basically has been disappeared the whole game. He hasn't really been available. So I'm just trying to think who they can bring in.
I would
I thought,
look, I would try Paez, but then like Paez and then
but then
Valencia.
it's a 19-year-old. You're exactly.
Exactly.
You're taking out one of the most senior players for like legitimately a youth player.
Mhm.
Like not even like a light youth player. This is like top of the food chain youth player.
Mhm.
He doesn't even play like for like a European side. He's only playing in yeah, that'd be a tough call. I don't know if they would make that call.
Like I mean,
Maybe Rodriguez, Kevin Rodriguez. They could try and bring him in. I don't know.
more life, but then like Yeboah hasn't been like Yeboah's had moments, but again, you need
No, yeah,
more than
but again, yeah, but he hasn't been consistent.
yeah. You
Like
need some
I
sustained
think
pressure.
Angulo has been the more consistent player.
Mhm.
Oh, you're using FODMOB, hey.
Yeah,
FODMOB gang.
it it doesn't give me the good old McAfee issues. So
Mm,
now
that's
if it
so
does,
good because they both get information from Opta, so it's
yeah.
not like you're gaining anything different. It's the same
Mhm.
info. Yeah, as you can see, dude, 10-2 shots.
Yep.
Ooh, crazy.
9 touches inside the opposition box to 6, which I give some saving grace, but
Mhm.
1 corner versus 5. I'm just watching Mexican fans just losing.
Yeah, I'm looking at yeah. Angie told me to look at the Mexican fans too. And I'm like, because I wasn't watching. But
That every Mexican let me dream of the day where like a team I support makes it deep and I get to a real crowd watch like what this broadcast. I would lose my mind.
I think we're just gonna ignore your main team. But like Wolves. But Canada, for Canada's perspective, I think Canada can become a good team, but let's be honest, it's going to take like 15 years, maybe 20 plus years
Yeah,
before
it's
we
not
see it.
to me the first generation that's good isn't the important. It's important, but it's the next one that then shows how sustainable that level is, or that next step you take is always going to be important. So
Mm.
that's why I always look at the But as we said, 10 to 2, 3.72 to 0.22. Passes have been rather close, but again, Mexico have been far more deadly. Movement passes is fine. And then yeah, for Hot Mom ratings, it's Julian Quinones, Raul Jimenez, and Roberto Alvarado, then John Yaboa, Gil Mora, or I'm sorry, Mora for you. Then
Well,
that's
Mora's only had like 3 good touches, to be like 3 good of attacking contributions. But like if Yeboah has had multiple, Quinones has had multiple, Jimenez had literally one chance where he should have passed it to Quinones, who was in the better position to curl the ball. But I thought I would assume they would put more Mexican midfielders because they've really nullified. Caicedo is nowhere to be seen again. Remember, this is one of the most expensive midfielders of all time.
And nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Outside of Yaboa, like I think it's fair because Yaboa's had a chance, but outside of that, there's
Well,
no
you
other.
have to give Angulo. Angulo's played well, I think.
Mhm.
I think he's been the more like he's actually trying to beat this guy. When he does beat them, when he's crossing the ball into the box, there's really no one in there. So I can't fault a guy for trying to do something. So to me, Yeboah had the better opportunity, the nice curl, but I like how Angulo plays. The guy who needs to go is Enna Valencia. Enna Valencia needs to be benched. You need more dynamism or something.
I agree. Let me actually take a look at their past games to see who they usually would take Valencia out for, if anyone.
But speaking of which, let's bring up something else. So, what are the games we were getting hyped up for? Because this has been just a pleasant surprise, but what are the games are hyped up for? I'm guessing for you, obviously Colombia, Ghana is going to be a big game.
You know what? Yes and no. I think because for me, I had such low expectations for them that them making the round of 32 is a win for me. So everything is like, if they win, it's like when you find $20 in your jacket, like, oh man, that's great, and we move on. But it was all about finding the jacket. I didn't expect them to find their jacket, and they did.
Can I ask a follow-up? Sure. Is it because of the group, or is it because of a combination of the group and the players? What exactly is it that you weren't?
It's the players.
They're playing. So not the group. You didn't think the group was a big factor to your concerns?
The group definitely would have factored regardless. I figured for them to have a chance to do something, I figured they'd have to go 4 points. So I figured that you have to beat Panama, and then probably the draw comes against Croatia, and then England just crumpets over Buffalo and you're dead. I did not expect the 0-0 draw versus England. And then so the Croatia game became like found money. It was like, okay, if they get a draw here, that's not terrible. And then they tie it up late, and then they ultimately concede, and they're fine. But no, for me, Ghana is just very simply, you don't have your best player, Kudus. You don't have your 2 best center backs in Jiku and Salisu. You don't have your best right back in Tariq Lamptey. And then on
I've got
top,
to. No, I have to stop you. You're saying Kudus is a better player than Semenyo. I like the way you smiled because you know I caught you in that one.
listen,
I just want you to publicly say out loud that Mohamed Kudus is a better player than Semenyo.
listen.
Uh-huh.
He is not. But I think having him in the midfield would have opened up so much more, especially even if they continue to play as they played,
Mhm.
very defensively and going. But at least in those transition moments, you'd have someone who could actually progress. They don't have a progressor. They don't have an attacking midfielder, let alone a someone who's going to masquerade as a box to box.
I think you're like I'm with you on the progression. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
I also like. I think Kudus is one of the best progressors in Africa. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna.
Mhm.
I like Kudus. I'm not gonna try and change my tone because I'm putting you on the line here. But I think Anas Nuama has done an amazing job. I don't want to Eredivisie. I know I'm pretty sure he's in the Dutch league, right? Is he?
Who?
Nuama?
Nuama? No, Nuama is he's at Lyon.
Oh, is that Lyon? Okay.
Yeah.
But he was at the Dutch league, if I'm not wrong. Am I wrong? Did he never play in the Dutch league?
He may have at some point, but he's been Lyon for the Dutch league. You're thinking is Kadu? No,
No. No, I know
Kudus
Kudus was in he was at Ajax. I don't
But,
remember. Why did I think Norm was? Oh
'cause
no,
Ernest-
he was in Nordsjælland, which is
Yeah,
in,
Nordsjælland,
No- in Norway.
yeah.
That's Belgian. Wait, he was in a Belgian side, and then the Danish side, not Norway, Danish.
Mhm.
Sorry, but I think Norman's played well in terms of carrying the ball. Like, yeah, he's not a
Yeah,
Mohamed
he played
Kudus.
well, yes.
He's not Mohamed Kudus, but he's played exceptionally well. I think the thing that you guys need to do is just rip the band-aid, play Abdul Fattah for now on the left wing,
Mhm.
Semenyo as a striker, Nuama as your right wing, and that's how you play. Because
hear you.
Fattah played really well.
Mhm.
Mbappé and Haaland was a showdown we wanted.
Yeah, but we already had we had this discussion earlier this week. The feeling of Norway sitting all their rest starters against France. Because at the end of the day, it would have been nice to see them play. Just like, okay, we get to see best on best, but they made their gamble, and hey, their choice did kind of pay off because hey, you had a well-rested Holland tapping a ball into an open net to win the game. So, hey, yeah, did what you had to do there, no doubt. But back to the Ghana point, no, I think the injuries factor into the group that you're playing. Even if they were healthy, I would still look at the group and say, I think you need a win versus Panama, which they got, and then you need a draw somewhere. And maybe you're a little bit more confident saying, okay, maybe you can run after tired legs or older legs of Croatia in this moment. But that to me was kind of where I was with Ghana. So their ceiling to me was get out of the group, and they did. So anything they do after this, it's like, hey, good for you. If they somehow beat Colombia, I will just be like, look, we live to play another day. That's what we did. Go on, Kings, live your dream. If we get demolished by Colombia, I would turn back and say, look, I didn't expect us to be here, so I'll take the surprise win for 300, and I will just saunter away.
So did you have because for Canada you thought you actually had said you could see You wouldn't be shocked if they get to the quarterfinals, but the round of 16 is where you thought might be the ceiling.
I did say that, yes.
So was that because of the group, or was that because of the players?
That was more so the group. In that situation, that's
Mhm.
if you're able to. I thought best case scenario for Canada, they get 3-1-2 goal 1/2-1 games, 1-0/2-1 type games
Mhm.
against Bosnia. They have to start it off with a win, and then from there, Qatar I thought was the most important game because that was the expected win, and then against the Swiss, you're hoping at that point the Swiss are already tied, and then they pull a Norway, and then you're thinking, okay, maybe you can catch them here, and then you move on. Then if you do that, then you'd be playing Algeria, which wouldn't be an easy side. Let's not pretend like it would be. And then either Ghana or Colombia, which at least for my sanity is great that we don't have to go through that. But I thought they would have a better run getting out of the groups if they had topped the groups to reach the quarterfinals. Right. But because that was also with the same logic of, hey, if this was the old format, you win a game in the round 16, you go to the quarterfinals. It's not bad. That was the logic I was using. Now, whether you think that's the right logic or not, clearly is
No,
up
no,
to
no,
you.
no, no, no. I think your logic is sound. It's just I'm trying to understand because I think in general Ghana has better players. Because
Yeah.
at the point where Canada was coming in, most of the good Canadian players were injured. Bambito was injured, Alfonso Davis was injured, Flores was injured. So like technically, the players that you're like these are the good players, they weren't there. But for Ghana, it's just what 3 players who are out.
It's 3 players that are out, but then also factoring in how poor they looked, right?
Mm.
And then you had a new coach. So how much could he actually implement in a short period of time, right?
But
Because
you're
remember
also
that
talking about an elite coach. You're not talking about some. They didn't just go and bring like some run
Nagelsmann's cousin's
like
brother.
they didn't bring some random guys,
Yeah.
some FA guy's cousin. They brought in a Real Madrid former coach.
Mhm.
You don't coach Real Madrid if you're subpar. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
actually have chops in terms of winning stuff. So, and hey, by the way, can we give him props? Do you remember? Do you remember when he joined and you guys were like, "Ooh, I don't know, he failed with this, he failed with that," and I'm like, you have to assess him layer by layer.
Mhm.
You can only assess a guy with once he's in the squad. You don't know what the issues he've had with Saudi or with Iran or with Iraq or whichever teams he's probably faced everybody. He's coached everyone in the Middle East region. But the guys come in and as you said, he's by far surpassed expectations.
Mhm.
But yeah. The game started again. I need to switch. Oh, 2 minutes already passed. I didn't even have the stream on. Oh, look at the Ecuador coach. He looks shell shocked. This
So
has been a really interesting World Cup because
Mhm.
it's like big brand name players, except the ones that have a history of showing up at the World Cup, like Mbappe and Messi and them. A lot of brand name players haven't really played well. Like Kane hasn't played well, Caicedo hasn't played well, um, Hincapie hasn't played well. Give me brand name players that haven't played well.
I mean,
Salah
Jota
to me
hasn't
hasn't played well.
played well.
Mane hasn't played well.
Everyone who was at Juve not named Weston McKinney.
Yeah, but even I wouldn't even consider Weston McKennie like a big name. He might be a big name for the US, but in world football, I don't think people look at Weston McKennie and go, "Ooh, that's Weston McKennie."
true,
Dude,
but
he played for like what was it, Leeds or something at some point? Like
yeah,
he wasn't like a. His whole thing is energy, right? Like Pulisic, I would say is more of a brand name player than I
Mm.
would I would say Weston McKennie. But if you're gonna put Weston McKennie, I think he's played well. Pulisic has only played what, like one game or something,
yeah,
because he
yeah.
was injured, right? So
Mm.
he did look good though when he played. I'm trying to go country by country. Haaland played well. Yamal was a mixed bag,
Yeah.
but also he is coming back from injury, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt there. Verts played okay. Again, for a lot of German players, it's the Curacao game made them look a lot better than they really were, but that's just more Curacao being poor as opposed to Germany being good. But it's been wonderful. I'm liking this. I'm like, if your coach just plays you in positions just because you're playing a top team,
Hmm.
I think you're seeing teams being punished.
You have, yeah. And just to give everyone updated here, you had Medina come in, Yamar Medina, and then Angelo Preciado coming in for Franco and Ordonez at halftime. So the right side, basically, of the defense, both center back and right back are off, and a little bit more energy to come in. Some youthful looks as we got kick into the inside, still into the inside, laid off.
Ecuador controlling stuff. Mexico
Mhm.
sitting deep at the moment.
Yes.
Ecuador not really doing anything interesting.
True. I mean, Mexico are fine to nurse this 2-0 lead all the way to the end. They're definitely comfortable and such. So yeah, you might as well do it. But don't invite too much pressure. You don't want this to turn to a Japan situation where you just forget to
Oh,
cover.
but that's a crazy tackle. Holy.
Hmm. I'll get to it in a minute, I guess.
That honestly, some refs would give that immediately as a foul.
Hmm.
That defender did an insane tackle there.
Yep. But in this World Cup, they'll get a look.
I don't think it's in this World Cup. I just think it's some teams have gotten lucky with refs. Refs just aren't calling the bad fouls or the
Mhm.
bad choices. So
True. I can take that.
the game was kind of lulled, though.
Hmm. But
Like,
it's lulled because again, they got their 2 goals. They don't need more.
that's true.
This is Mexico.
Well, no, it's not just that this is Mexico. It's actually on Ecuador to attack them.
Hmm.
You know, like technically. Oh, such a bad pass. Is he not on? Ooh. Yeah, he's off. I knew he was off. Wait, was he off? Yeah, he was off. He was off.
It looks like he was.
Yeah, he was off.
But right now, Mexico sitting back, holding their 2-goal lead. And right now, it looks like they have 1 foot in the door to get that last game in Mexico before everything shifts to the USA 26 World Cup. Because quarterfinals are in the States. In Boston, LA, Miami, and Kansas.
So no other games are played in Mexico or Canada after this?
Nope. No, after the round of 16.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all the rest of the games all in the US.
Yes.
That's crazy. We should have had at least 1 or 2 games in Mexico. I can
Yeah.
understand Canada because maybe the travel is too much, but
Yeah, but I would.
Me-
I thought the final should have been in Mexico.
100%. I'm with you. Mexico
Azteca.
has a better stadium. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, really unlucky from Mexico. Let's see. Pacho to I don't know if it's Kite or Kite. Ooh.
Good tackle, but then dribble.
That was a bad tackle. That was not actually a tackle. He was going for the ball.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it's not a foul because he was cocking up for a shot and then the Mexican player went ahead of him. So it's not really a foul. Actually, good refereeing there, I will say. These referees have been confusing me because sometimes I feel like they're having a good game. I liked the first week. That was the only week I think across the board we saw they were extremely consistent across
Yeah.
all the games. Once it's gotten the knockouts, we've seen very inconsistent refereeing.
The knockouts.
Some-
He says.
Pardon me?
I said the knockouts. He says. I'd say by the time we got to match day 3, you're just like, are we? This is a foul now? Okay, you insist.
No, but I think in general across the board, a lot of fouls were not being called.
Mm.
Now you're seeing some games fouls are being called. Like
Mhm.
prior to this game, all the fouls are being called. Now you're seeing fouls almost. This is the only game that I've seen fouls just being ignored.
But yeah, the consistency of the officiating has definitely been a thing. So definitely been a talking point. No doubt.
Since it's lulled, we need to talk about something else.
Yeah,
Any-
it has lulled, and I'm just like,
like this is lulled. Like Ecuador just passing back, like they're the ones leading 2-0.
mhm.
Dude, Mexico isn't coming out. This is the
No.
beauty of a low block. They're already 2-0 up. You have to do something impressive.
That makes them open up. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What talking points do you have that we can discuss?
Oh, too many to choose from, but nothing real. There's a lot of talk on. We're here. How do I ask this question?
Just ask.
What for you? If you're in charge of these confederations, and by these confederations I mean all the ones that are present, what does
That's
success?
all of them. You just went all the confederations.
You're Infantino, so today
Okay.
you are president.
Yeah. So you're FIFA president, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no. Let me rephrase that here. If you are, say, the CONCACAF president, what's the ideal goal? What's the ideal finish that you call this a success? And yes, I'm going to eliminate winning the World Cup as an option because yes, everyone would winning it would be a success, but for our CONCACAF teams right now, there's
Dude, all the CONCACAF teams have been successful. All of them.
Okay.
The ones that showed up were like think about it. The ones that showed up just to add numbers, like Haiti, that's a CONCACAF team, right? I'm
Yes.
assuming Haiti is, yeah. So Haiti got there, got smoked by basically everybody, but their aim wasn't to get out of groups. Their aim was to compete with other teams. It was to assess their level, which the level was low. They already knew the level was low. It was a question of can you get there. Canada's in my evaluation of Canada and yours is different. I thought getting out of groups is a big deal.
And
So
it is. Yeah.
So for me, yeah, because they've never done it before.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's a big deal. So so they got out of groups. That already to me is a win. I think the US are the only ones that I would have argued. US and maybe Mexico are the only two that I would argue for them. Quarterfinals has to be the marker.
Mm.
So if one of them makes the quarterfinals, I think from a federation perspective, that's good because it means you have one of the top 8 countries in the world.
Mhm.
That's
So
what that
one
means.
team making the quarterfinals would be, say, successful.
One team, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's fair. And let's work our way through every confederation here. So we've done CONCACAF. Let's do
Well,
the
the two obvious ones are the South American and the European. I think both the only successful one is one of them has to win.
Yeah.
So that it's that simple. Those have the highest standards of the rest of the other confederations in general. So then
What
you're
about
left with Africa.
and then you go
So it's AFCON or CAF or whatever,
CAF, but then
and
AFC.
and Oceania if you want to assess Oceania.
Well, what does
Um,
New Zealand have to do? Defend.
Well,
Just-
but I think New Zealand, I would argue, they've been competitive in
They
almost
have,
every game. So I think for them, that's impressive. I think the next assessment would be at least get out of knockouts
Mhm.
because of the number of more teams that have joined. It's actually easier for you to get out of the group stages. Like if this was a regular World Cup, Canada gets grouped. We would have played harder teams off the
True.
rip.
Okay, I see. Okay.
So we wouldn't have had an easy group to begin with. It'd have been an easy group still has a lot harder teams. We would have guaranteed one top team in our group. You know what I mean? Like people forget in the South Korea group, they had didn't they have Brazil or something or Italy in the first in the groups?
What
They
year?
beat a big team in 2000 and was it 2002 in South Korea and Japan's World Cup.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure South Korea had like a top team. Like historically, the smaller World Cups, it just means you're getting harder games off the rip, is what that means. Like the group of France, Norway, Senegal, almost every group would have been that way. Almost all of them. So so for New Zealand with this larger World Cup, I think their next World Cup they'll be hoping to come at least get out of groups would be the next one. For AFC, I think AFC has really underperformed. I think they've actually showcased the worst performance. Japan, in my opinion, should be a quarterfinals team. They didn't make it there. Uzbekistan technically should have done more. They didn't. For a team that, because their team is really star-studded. Let's be honest. It's a good team. Who else? Who else is in the Asian that we should have?
Australia.
Australia did well against Turkey. That's a big deal. But then they obviously lost to the US, and then didn't they draw to Paraguay? Or did they lose to Paraguay? I think they drew.
Paraguay.
Yeah,
they drew them.
So good for Australia, but then they didn't go out of groups, right?
They did go out of groups. Yeah, they finished second in the group.
Oh, they finished second. Okay. Yeah, then I think that's good for them then, because just getting to the round of 32. Who do they face in the next round? Oh, okay. I think knowing that, the expectation should be getting to the round of 16. I think outside of round of 16 would be poor, because Egypt is quite possibly the luckiest of the bad teams that you could face. You could face a lot worse. So
we did CONCACAF. We did we do South America? Golden Bowl?
Yeah, we said South America would be, they have to win. Brazil is looking to win. Argentina is looking to win. Ecuador would have been round of 16. Who else? Have we missed anyone? We
Um,
probably have. We probably missed like
probably
4
have.
teams.
Let me just do my last quick check. But the South Korea, cool. Qatar, yeah, you're alive. Um, Asia, Turkey, no, Turkey is Europe, so we leave that.
We're talking about
Japan.
South American, South American, bro.
Are you going South American sides?
But that's what you said.
True. My mind is slowly leaving me right now.
Oh, break. Mexico break. Mexico break. They
moments
messed it up. They messed it up. Those Ecuadorian players are quick though. They covered that ground in so fast.
as they should. Sir.
Holy, those guys are rapid.
South
So then
America.
it's South
yeah.
American. Yeah, give me the South American teams. I've probably
So-
missed a few.
Yeah, so Brazil, Argentina, Colombia,
Colombia. Wow. Yeah.
and then where did you? Oh, you did the thing.
So I would say, okay, let's break Brazil and Argentina. They always Uruguay would be one of them. So Brazil and Argentina, the only for them not winning the World Cup is a fail. Right.
Yes.
So that's it. Simple. Uruguay, I think for them, they probably thought maybe round of 16, or maybe quarterfinals would have been a good World Cup for them. It didn't work out. Ecuador, I think they would have said round of 16, maybe quarterfinals. At the way it looks, it's not looking good, bruv. So yeah, so we move to AFCON then, or CAF.
Yeah, CAF. What does success look like for CAF in this World Cup?
So before the World Cup, we looked at the groups and we thought these were some hard groups for most of the African sides.
Yeah.
But I'd said this is now when you'd really check if Morocco, Senegal, especially those two, because those are the two top teams in CAF. Is this like a blip? Was this like, are you guys being serious? And Morocco, it's clear that they're better on in their development than Senegal is. So, and to be honest, to me, it's not that the Senegalese don't have talent. I think it's a coach. But Morocco going through is great. They probably are guaranteed at least round of 16. Because if they beat Canada, who do they face?
The quarterfinals,
Again.
The round
They
16.
face Brazil. No, they face Morocco. You said face England.
No, Mexico faces England. If
Morocco wins,
it's the France-Paraguay matchup. So winner faces.
France. Oh,
yeah. So it's probably France in the quarterfinals.
So, but again, the argument is: has Morocco gotten to that point where they can face these top teams? Oh, they almost scored. Sorry, that's how I went by.
Yeah.
But I think Morocco should be looking at beating France. And I don't think Morocco looks at France and gets scared, by the way. I don't like the way Morocco's been playing. Morocco looks at this tournament like we are good enough to win. So, and they should. They've got a lot of good talent in there. So, will they? No. But if you said Morocco get knocked out in the round of 16, I think you'd have said that seems like a poor tournament. You went from semi-finalists to round of 16. That's poor.
Yeah.
So Senegal, I would say the way the groups went was very poor for me. We'll see. You know what I mean?
But they do have. Listen, the one thing with Senegal is if they get past Belgium,
they have an easier way.
Yeah, because then it's either United States or Bosnia Herzegovina, which isn't daunting.
US. Let's just call it.
But then they get probably Spain in the quarters.
Which at least I think for them quarterfinals would be because that matches what they've done historically, right? Like they would
Yeah.
get to a quarterfinal. So I think quarterfinals to them is a pass, like a very strong pass. Will
Mhm.
they get there? I doubt it. Like
True.
they've just been all over the place. Ivory Coast, I think, I thought Ivory Coast were getting out of groups. They did get out of groups,
Yep.
which was fantastic. I genuinely thought that they had a really good shot at getting to the round of 32. They faced a really good Norway side, very unlucky, but the game's the game. You have to beat the people in front of you.
This is
So
true.
I would say it's disappointing for Ivory Coast. I think for Egypt, I'm really impressed. I think
Mhm.
because it's the first time they got out of groups. Um, for Cabo Verde, that's insane. That's not even like it's not
It's
even worth
beyond
discussing.
words
That's
because we
beyond
didn't. Yeah.
words. No one thought we thought they were bottom of the group. Um,
Yeah. Right.
Congo,
Mhm.
we Congo, I think is also positive. Um, Ghana, I had said Ghana were getting out of groups, but I thought it would end around the 32. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
Um, who else? Which other African nation?
You want to talk about Algeria?
I didn't have high hopes for Algeria, so
Mhm.
I don't know about you. I didn't really have high hopes.
I think watching their game against Austria. Now,
Mhm,
granted, this is that was an Austrian side who were like, "Look, we just need a draw to move on." So the lead and then giving up a goal to concede to a draw isn't a terrible thing. But the way
mhm.
they played, then it was just like, "Oh, right, Algeria has us in them, right? Good to know."
No, but Algeria has always had elite players. The
Yeah,
problem is similar to like Nigeria. It's not the players that's the issue. It seems like there's something else like that happens in the back room that we
yeah.
don't know that messes them up. But they've always had elite players. Like it's not it was never just Mares that was the good player. Like now you have Maza, you have
Mhm,
as I said, Mares, you have they have so many good players at Algeria.
mhm.
It's just a question of will it lock in? Will it all work out? But
Yeah,
I think if you told an Algerian that they're coming out of groups, that would bite your hand to take that. So I
mhm.
would say that's like a pleasant surprise that they are playing at the level that they should be playing at, essentially.
Fair.
Um, Anybody else that we might have missed?
Tunisia did
Congo,
Tunisia things, but
Tunisia did Tunisia things. So that's again they met expectations.
they, they were like the last two, and the funny thing with Tunisia is like if you look at what they did in the last World Cup, they
Mhm,
beat France in the final match day, and everyone's
mhm,
just like, yeah, good for them.
mhm,
But it's the interesting thing I have just looking at like success
mhm,
because like there's so many different narrative points in terms of hey, 9 out of 10 African teams made the round of 32,
mhm.
and there's to me there's a lot of different things that people can take from that. The thing I'm going to focus on here is just the idea of this is just did I pick it? No. But am I surprised? No. And the reason why I'm not surprised is
Now,
there.
can I, Akwasi, can I bring up the thing that we spoke about that is a little bit controversial because people thought I was being overly aggressive because of what someone else had said. That we had a conversation on the side, we didn't really talk about it, but because it has to be discussed because that's kind of where we're going. There's
Oh,
no way you can tell me 9 out of 10 African sides go through, and you don't tell me African football has isn't changing. And by the way, these aren't even the strongest sides from if you're just looking at it from even from an AFCON perspective. Because from an AFCON perspective, Cameroon beat South Africa. They're not here. Nigeria went really deep in AFCON. They're not here.
yeah.
Like if you just talk about like the big countries, they're not here. We you and I had both spoken about Congo. We knew Congo would do this. We knew this.
Mhm.
We knew they were getting out of groups, technically. But it's one thing seeing it, it's another thing Like, see, like, sorry, there's one thing theorizing about it, but it's another thing seeing it in person. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but even to that point, right? There's and this kind of comes back. There's so many layers to things. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna try to compress it a bit here. Also, Santi Jimenez on, Obed Vargas on for Mexico. Still 2-0 after the hydration break, guys. They have been sitting back and taking in. This is why we're kind of flowing through this here.
yeah.
But the
Oh! You said that literally.
and yeah, this is what happened.
Rodriguez almost scored.
What happened? I'm like, guys, nothing's
One
happening.
hell of a
Something
ball
happened.
from Caicedo.
Yeah.
One hell of a ball. But the keeper had it though. Keeper had it.
Which is always good.
Keeper did well. He made himself big. Made the target really hard for Rodriguez to get.
Yes, he did.
Good try. But again, the game was lulled. Like that's why we're talking.
Yeah,
I think this game is guaranteed 2-0. We're nothing
Yeah.
news. We're not expecting anything.
maybe a 2-1, maybe
Maybe a
3.
2-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they
Maybe
score
one more
third.
goal left in this game.
Yeah, but we're saying that winners are Mexico. That's why we're talking.
So
But sorry,
they have
go on.
possibly either DR Congo or England in Mexico
Come on,
City.
let's be honest. It's gonna be England.
I know you want to say DR Congo, but
No, I want to say DR Congo, like because I think DR Congo actually match up really well against them. But
I agree with you there. I think it's a better matchup for them.
yeah, they
because
do
they-
match up well against them.
It's
But
their game. It suits their game better.
but
Ye-
we know the problem is the reason why you're seeing knockarounds getting harder is the pressure is
Yeah.
severe. So England have been deeper. They know how to get into latter stages of a competition.
Yeah.
So
And this is also a DR Congo side that we've seen gets. Yeah.
it's okay. You can just say it. They choke.
It was like,
They,
what's
they
the
play
way?
good. Dude, when they played Jamaica, we thought Congo's gonna smash Jamaica.
Oh, but that was a styles issue. Both teams
Mm.
wanted to play counter football, and no one really wanted the ball. It
Mhm.
was a hot potato. It was 90s. It was 90s weed.
Yeah,
Nobody
but even then, you still think Congo has the talent to at least break down a stubborn Jamaican defense. They didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, technically they did because they won, but
But
it
no,
wasn't because of like incredible football or anything like that. It was just a bad.
No.
Congo are good when the other team is clearly the aggressor.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. That's and like, but to that point, right?
Mhm.
To me, the context that I'm gonna start this off with, and we'll see where we end up here, is
Mhm.
the context of 9 out of 10 celebration is the fact
Mhm.
that African sides and CAF specifically have been yelling for years about better representation
Mhm.
World Cup,
Mhm.
right? Because they have the second biggest confederation in members. They have 54. UEFA has 55. UEFA gets 13 spots. CAF gets 5, along with 5 for Asia. CONCACAF gets 3, and then I think South America gets 4.
4.
or 5.
Yeah. 4,
Well,
5. I
yeah.
guess there's usually like a floating one.
Yeah, there's a
that,
half
like,
spot. Like CONCACAF
yeah.
gets 3.5 and going from there. And so the celebration is rooted in there because there's a reality that even if you if you look at last World Cup, so 2022 World Cup's final 10, because the format for the last World Cup qualification was groups, 10 groups, 10 group winners go, and then they get paired off, and then home and away aggregate, winner goes to the World Cup.
Mhm.
Of those 10 sides,
Mhm.
the only one that didn't come back and do anything was Mali, which is why I continue to say Mali was the disappointment of this World
Yeah.
Cup, not Nigeria, because Nigeria did the thing where they finally woke up and then were like, okay, we're here. But you take in the matchups, right?
Mhm.
Cameroon made the play. The matchups were Cameroon, Algeria, and what was quite honestly one of the dumbest games I've seen in terms of just goals, not goals. It was one of the worst officiated games, and Cameroon wins it at the death. And I saw the fury of Algerians for months to follow, and I got it. Right? You had Senegal, Egypt. right after they had played at the AFCON final.
Mhm.
And one, you had Nigeria, Ghana, you had Tunisia, Mali, and then you had DR Congo, Morocco.
Mhm.
Right? So of those 10 teams, 7 of them made the next World Cup. And if you want to look at it even further, if you want to widen the scope even more, Cape Verde had to beat and came so close to beating Nigeria in their group. And the
Mhm.
same thing with South Africa with Ghana. South Africa was ahead. They just needed to draw and they would have gone through. Ghana
Mhm.
got one of the softest penalties of 2021. I'm sorry, 2022, and they made it through.
Mhm.
And so the teams were there, and because Africa is so limited in space, there's almost just like an expectation of just it's only those teams. Like I got into so many arguments with my brother where he'd be like, yo, Cameroon or Cape Verde should let Cameroon go to the World Cup because they perform better there. I'm like, sir, how about qualify for it? How about actually beat the side before you say this?
But I do think there is also the other elements to this. Like,
Mhm.
so I'm just gonna go in if you don't mind, because I know you're trying to keep it compact because you don't want to go comprehensive, but we have to, because if you don't go into detail, it's lost. It's lost in translation. So the argument about the diaspora players being chosen for African nations, this isn't a new thing. This is a
I
thing
was
that
gonna
has happened for time immemorial. African nations have always done this. Do you know what happens when African countries rely on the diaspora? This is what happens. Let's use Ghana as an example. Ghana went in and tried to get Callum Hudson-Odoi, and who else was it? There were 2 players that they went for.
No, it was more than 2 players. It was
No,
Callum
no,
Hudson,
no. I want to talk about the
Eddie
2, the
Nketiah.
English ones, and
Eddie-
Edin Nketiah. Edin Nketiah and Callum Hudson-Odoi said they will only represent Ghana if Ghana make it to the World Cup. So what that means is there would have been someone who was available during the entirety of the qualifiers, helps Ghana get to the World Cup. And then just because Hudson-Odoi and Edin Nketiah are there, they take that guy's position. What do you think happens in the dressing room? What do you think happens in the back room? People don't pass to those players when the game starts. You hear stories about scuffles behind closed doors. If you want to do this, just go read African history. This isn't like a new thing. Go look at old Nigerian teams. Look at old Cameroonian teams. Heck, look at old Senegalese teams. Remember when El Hadji Diouf used to fight everybody? There's a reason. Okay, what Morocco have done is something exceptional, which is get diaspora players who buy into the project. When there's AFCON, they all go. When it's World Cup qualifiers, they all go. You don't hear Hakimi say, I'm going to sit this one out. Hakimi is one of the best players in the world. He can very well say, I don't want to go. Hakimi's first one on the plane, first guy. That's different. That's a completely different narrative. That's a completely different storyline. Getting buy-in from diaspora players who have no idea what's going on is incredibly difficult. They all come with these demands. Heck, the best one, there's a great Kevin Prince Boateng has a great example of when he joined the Ghanaian team. He's like, dude, I didn't speak the language. And I'm like, wait, you speak English? Ghanaians speak English. What the hell are you talking about? And then he said it was guys like Essien and them that were like the middlemen. And it didn't hit me that he's probably right that there were some Ghanaian players who probably didn't speak English well enough, right? But that was an issue. So what we're saying when we're saying 7 out of the 10 clubs are through, or 9 out of the 10 clubs got out of group stages. If you look at Ivory Coast, 9 of the 26 players are from the diaspora. In the last game, do you know how many players of the diaspora played? 3. Senegal have 9 out of 26 players. Do you know how many of them started? 4. So majority of the players who are in those countries are from that country. You have to generate players from your home country for it to work. Otherwise, it's a waste of conversations. Because I can tell you, there was a period for anyone who cares to listen, go talk to a Nigerian. They'll talk to you about it for years. There was a Kanu era in the 90s and a massive hole. A massive hole. Do you know what that hole was? Diaspora players. Because Kanu went and killed it at Arsenal, and everyone went, oh, we should get the Nigerians in England. Those are the only players that we should be focusing on. And then it went to shit. But you're looking at, I think if it's really interesting because Cabo Verde played well because this is the first World Cup.
True.
Right?
But
Let's be honest, it's the first one. No, because even like I know Congo's first time in the 70s was horrible. That's why they're trying to fix it. But go on.
But the point I was going to get to was that no one is denying the diaspora in that sense. But the thing for me is sometimes the way that conversation or that point gets brought up, it's almost framed in a way where it's just, oh, they just showed up and that's why you're good all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Right.
That's also another thing.
And the problem is it's like, well, that kind of diminishes the people who've been there, right? It almost makes it like, yes, there are people who showed up this window. No one's gonna push back on that. No. Yeah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka came this cycle. Yes, we know, right? Yeah. But are we gonna ignore the fact that Yohan Wissa has been with DR Congo for more than 5 years?
And playing exceptionally. Are we going to not just randomly showing up, but being an exceptional player. But sorry, go on. Yeah.
And then like you have other players, like my favorite player, Jordan Ayew, is technically diaspora. He wasn't born in Ghana.
He's French.
He's French, yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, on that point, the people who are like, he could have played for France, go touch grass, people. But like
he would never have seen, heck, the third country, I think he qualifies for both France and England, I think. Either one. He would never have.
Grass has been touched.
Never. Not under 21s, not under 17s. Never would he have played for either one. Mm-hmm. Sorry, go on. We have
he's played nothing but Ghana football. He played Ghana youth football. He played Ghana.
But also. But my thing is, let me just so that I clarify here, I have nothing wrong with federations going and getting diaspora players. That is crazy. That it's crazy if there's a really good player who happens to have been born in a different country and has a lineage and wants to represent you. Take him. I'm not mad at it. They want to do it. I'm more than willing. Take him. But they have to buy in. I don't know about Wan-Bissaka's situation. I know Wan-Bissaka showed up this time because Wan-Bissaka for the longest time was close enough to get to the English squad. Like he was in the English U17s, I'm pretty sure, or at least the U21s easily. Wan-Bissaka maybe, I think at the end realizes, I'm never going to make it. I might as well try Congo. This is his backup plan. My thing about Morocco and heck, to a certain extent, some Senegalese players, they really do see this as, no, I have to really buy in. Like I actually have to be there. Mbappé was going to be there at AFCON. He got injured. He was going. He literally, from all the talking points I saw, he said that he was going. The injury is what screwed him over. But it's my issue is that aspect of diaspora players are the reason why these guys are playing well. That is not the case. Listen to what Akwasi said. Akwasi was talking about Fatau as being better than Semenyo because he is the creative spark for Ghana.
Kudus, but yes.
Oh, sorry. What did I say? I said Fatau? I meant Kudus. Yeah, I meant Kudus.
That would have been much more flagrant. At that point, I'm like...
that's actually crazy. but you know, I actually like Fatau. I think, like for me, on the wing, my issue is where Semenyo is playing. I think Semenyo should play centrally. I don't think he should be playing on the wing. Because I actually agree with you. He doesn't really carry the ball well. Like he carries the ball in transition exceptionally well, but he doesn't really, when you need him to break one or two players, that's not his game. Mm-hmm. His game is get the ball in certain positions, bend that ball. Either score it with his right foot or score it with his left. Amazing. And he's really good in the air. Regardless. My argument with what's going on with AFCON is this was the first time in CAF. This is the first time for CAF that we actually sent probably our best teams, barring one or two. This is the first time historically I have ever looked at us and I went, oh, we got the best guys. There are multiple times we would send Egypt, and I'm like, how did they qualify?
But true, and I'm gonna cut you off here but even with the Egypt point, like we have like the problem with Africa is because we've been so there's a reality where people look at African football, and because the spaces are so limited, it's if you don't see the four teams you're used to seeing, you're almost shocked, like, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Right? Nigeria doesn't make this World Cup. People are like, oh, what happened? And I'm just like, South Africa were better than them. This isn't.
But what? But I know you keep pushing that narrative. By the way, you keep pushing that narrative. South Africa only lost. Sorry, Nigeria only lost once in their group. South Africa lost twice. One of that loss was to Nigeria.
Okay, so let me rephrase that here because this is an important point. This is a very important point. Yeah. And so at that point, South Africa banked points better than Nigeria.
Correct. They were more consistent.
Yes.
When they faced teams that were supposed to beat, they beat them. Nigeria drew against a lot of teams. That was the issue.
Yeah, Nigeria started the World Cup qualifying with 3 draws and a loss.
Yeah.
Like they were behind. They were chasing from the beginning, and if it wasn't for the last place group rule, where they eliminated every last place team and then gave the second place points, they don't even make the playoff. It should. If it was full groups, it would have been Burkina Faso, and Burkina Faso would have been the team that went through.
But I thought Nigeria finished second in that.
But they weren't the top 4 second place teams.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I follow you now.
Mm-hmm. And so the point, but like because we've been, and that's where it goes back to the whole argument of better. We weren't even asking, like African teams weren't. CAF wasn't even asking for equal representation. We were just like a better ratio. We were 3-1 for Europe to Africa. In this World Cup, we're closer to 2-1 because of the more slots and the more spots. But like. We grew up in an era where Egypt ran through Africa like a hot knife and butter and couldn't touch the World Cup.
But also, and this is a very controversial topic because again, for people who don't follow CAF, they don't know this. But one of the arguments we used to make was Egypt's groups used to be curated to Egypt. They used to face the same exact teams over and over and over again. Remember, they adjusted stuff over the years so that they can make things equal. But if you know you've got the beating of Zambia or you've got the beating of Zimbabwe, you've played them like 4 times in the last qualifiers in the AFCON and so on and so forth. It's a guarantee you're going to go through. It's just a guarantee. But what we're seeing now, though, my issues in the whole we needed more representation, which is good for us. No. My concern has always been with African nations is providing the right consistency, providing the right players, providing the right teams. And let's be honest, the only team that you and I both agree on that technically should have made to this World Cup is Mali. We thought Mali's a good team, but during the qualifiers, they were inconsistent.
Yeah.
But also, a big factor of that is a lot of the top players didn't go. Like people, like that's another issue. Like we don't talk about. We don't talk about the conditions that some of these players have to endure when it's a World Cup qualifiers. When it's a World Cup, when it's AFCON, when it's a big tournament, you know what? It's sexy. Because it's sexy, there's more eyeballs, the players show up. But qualifiers, no one cares that you're playing Tanzania. No one cares that you're playing Burundi or you're playing, let's be honest, let's call a spade, bro. Like, okay, for instance, for the Euros, for the European nations, for UEFA. Do you care when San Marino is playing Liechtenstein? No. I guarantee you've never checked a score, a single one, for Liechtenstein versus San Marino. I guarantee you haven't. That's what it is for the combination of Mali or Gambia or whatever.
What VAR is happening here?
I don't know. I'm looking. Babe.
Yeah,
What
because like I'm a
happened?
minute behind, so like I'm waiting for it to come up on my stream.
No,
here,
those
but-
are those are Mexican shot, but we don't know what the hell is. What the hell happened? Oh no, Hincapié is what did Oh, Hincapié covered his mouth.
Oh, then you're done.
It's a red.
Yeah, then you're done. It's a straight red.
It's a red.
should be a
Oh
red.
yeah. Yeah, it's a red. Yeah. Because these things happen when you don't see the camera, right? So we don't
Yeah.
really see the conversation. Yeah, he covered his mouth. It's a wrap. It's a red. Dude, Hincapié, what a terrible tournament.
Dude.
That's
He
a
is.
terrible tournament. But hey, good on Mexico.
For
You're just gazing now.
you know what? At this point, we need more brazen players. You know, just say it. You know what? Don't fear it. Just say it.
And let's be honest, we know whenever they're covering their mouths, they're saying something crazy.
It's never. Yeah.
It's never something good. It's something crazy. They're not trying to hide the nicest thing ever. Oh my
Yeah.
god! All my American friends are saying Mexico winning means free tamales in the morning.
Thankfully.
You know what?
Yeah,
It might not be wrong. They might actually be getting free tamales. You never know.
this is true.
What a game! You know what?
I mean, the first
Credit
half
to
was
Mexico.
buzzing.
Yeah, credit to
Yeah.
Mexico. They did what the US does. They smoke you in the first half, the first 15 to 20 minutes. You don't
Shut
recover.
it down
Yeah,
afterwards.
exactly. And then now you're chasing. Now you're chasing them. And if you're chasing, you're opening up holes. They had opportunities.
Yeah.
They had opportunities to score the goals. This has been a shutout. Would you
Of
say
the
this
most-
is a shock? Mexico versus Ecuador, technically, for Mexico to beat them.
I
2-0?
thought you'd get more fight from Ecuador, but no.
I agree. I thought you'd get more fight too.
Ref, just end the stream. You don't need to go to 10 minutes here. I know you used your VAR
10
time,
minutes?
but, like,
7.
I know, but like,
Oh,
are
yeah.
they going to use the VAR time?
Like 30 seconds. Don't
end the
they just
stream,
add 30 seconds or something? End the stream. You mean end the
Yes,
game?
sir. Yes. Yes.
Well, that's it.
Moy is another World Cup where technically he doesn't reach the round. See, with the added teams, how do we now, like, is the round of 16 deemed as successful, or are we going to move the goalpost with things and say, hey, actually, it's because you got out of the group, so congratulations to you.
What do you
know
mean?
what I mean?
Say that again? No, I don't. What do you mean?
Like, do we adjust the goalpost? Do we move the goalpost for success? Because normally making out of the group was the round of 16.
Okay.
So then, do we now say for teams that make the round of 16,
Mhm.
it's a successful? Like, I'm my words are all over the place. My body
Yeah.
is barely bearing it on. But like, is the round of 16 still the benchmark for success, or is it making it to the round of 32?
I thought. Wait, did we always have? We never had the round of 32 before.
No, because it was a 32 team
It
World
was
Cup.
32 team World Cup, so you'd move straight
Yeah.
to round of 16. If that's the case, I still believe getting out of the group stages is always going to be a big deal.
I do too.
So that hasn't changed just because you've added more teams. Because you've added more teams, it means technically, if you're a top team, it means it's easier for you to get out. You can mess up one game and come back because you can get out as the third best team, right?
Yes.
Um,
But with third place teams, does that, for me, I think now, if it's a third place team, I think success, you have to win a game.
It
right?
doesn't matter as long as you got out the groups.
I get that, but you're still at 32. For me, and I think that's where I'm landing.
I'm not joking. I still think it's the same. I think as long as you get out of groups, dude, you're in a group of killers. It's not just a random group. You're not playing. This isn't like your groups in your respective confederation where you have that one whooping boy that you look at. Have we not seen enough from Cabo Verde? Have we not seen like we were looking at some teams like for this team, that's a whooping boys. That team, that's a whooping boys. Now we're like, ooh, we're not sure I think it's been a success in terms of the quality of football. There's some teams like Qatar that really showcase that we need to give them more time before they become a good team. But overall, I think this has been getting out of the groups is an excellent way of proving to everyone that this is a success.
Oh, I agree with that. My just question was if reaching the round of 16 was the old benchmark. If you're just getting to 32, does that still count as the old benchmark?
No, I know what you're doing. You're doing maths. You're saying because it's 64 now, or because it's 48 now, you're going to 32 or whatever. That's not how that works for me. How this works is simply the just because you've added numbers doesn't mean that the game has gotten easier, is my point. So getting out of the groups is still a big enough. Brother, we just saw Turkey get knocked out when they could have easily gone out as they should have been third in that group. Minimum, right? They got grouped. How many teams have we seen getting grouped that we were like, oh wow, that's kind of shocking. And then after that, we've now seen in the round of 32 teams getting beat. Germany just got knocked out.
Yep.
Okay, so getting to the round of 32, getting out of groups is an achievement. Getting out of the round of 32 is an achievement.
Fair enough.
16, achievement. Getting to the World Cup is an achievement already.
In itself, yeah.
In itself. So any sort of progression should not be, let's put caveats. No.
Fair enough. Again, I was just asking for the sake of
asking.
I
know what you mean. You're doing the maths. You're trying to be cheeky here. You're trying to go, oh yeah, technically the round of 32 is what the group stages were before. So
really what it is, I'm trying to use last year's equation into this year's maths, and it's a different formula altogether. So
exactly. And with the way matchups are going, you're guaranteed facing a top team in every single round. Like Canada got lucky. We were going to face South Korea, then we got South Africa. We got lucky. But at the same time, respect to South Africa for grinding and not taking their licks. They went, we got beat by Mexico, we're going to come back. Paraguay got beat by USA. They recovered, beat Turkey. Did they beat Turkey?
Germany.
Yeah, and then beat Germany in the knockout rounds. So to me, all this does is it. My only issue, and it's always going to be an issue because they did this with the Champions League. I just don't like seeing more games because the players are going to break. If you're going to expand these things, we need to see lesser tournaments. Like AFCON should be and I know they're moving to once every 4 years, but it should be once every 4 years. And maybe at some point, we need to start putting like the way the Olympics is, it's only 23 and younger and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think for things like AFCON, Euros, and all that kind of stuff, I think we need to start moving to that direction.
I think there's I will continue to go on this hill, not because because people were making this back in 2000 in 2021. I think
Okay.
if you want to do that, I think the simple solution is if you move every tournament to every 4 years, you just make those tournaments automatic qualifiers for the World Cup.
Say that again, because my brain is slow. I said that again.
So if you're trying to reduce the games, the workload,
Yeah.
my first simple idea is make
Mhm.
every tournament every 4 years. Fine, AFCON is
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
They're going to do that, but make every continental tournament, make the winner an audit. There's already 48 teams. Make
Mhm.
the winner automatically qualify for the World Cup.
Oh, the winner of the AFCON, winner of the Euros,
Or
winner
yeah,
of
or
Copa
Euros, winner
America.
of the Gold Cup,
Yeah.
winner of Copa America. Yeah,
But isn't that assigned by your federation technically?
it could
Your,
be.
your federation is one that actually says, because before
Yeah.
it used to be that way. It used to be that if you win your tournament, maybe not all federations, but some I'm pretty sure had it, where if you win, you got a ticket.
To me, that would
Like right now, I think if
yeah.
you win the Nations League, you're guaranteed Euros.
Yes, but I
So
say if you win, yeah, but if you win the Euros, for instance, this past cycle, Spain won the Euros. Cool. They don't have to go through qualification. They have already qualified for the
oh,
World
you're
Cup.
saying remove them from the qualifications. You're
Yes,
saying immediately,
you're gone.
hey,
Yeah,
you're gone. Like
yeah,
your boys can chill. Your
yes,
job is just figuring out who's gonna play at the
yeah,
World Cup.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. You know what? I like that. I like that.
Because
That sounds
because
nice.
most of them are on the two, right? Most of them are in between. So they would be right
Ah,
before World Cup qualifying happens. So if you know that, then only Gold Cup is on the odds. The evens are CAF will be even.
yeah.
Euros are even, I believe. But so like
Mhm.
if that happens, like and imagine, I always say this, imagine the chaos, especially when you look at like something like
Because it
AFCON.
matters now. It matters
Yeah,
now.
it matters now, but then also think of the chaos we've had. We've had like what happens if like Madagascar somehow gets a magical run,
Dude,
and
what
not
if
only is it
Zambia?
yeah,
When
Zambia, yeah,
Zambia won,
that's them.
Zambia would have made it automatically to the World Cup, where they would have gone dominated by everyone. But
But
the story would
still,
have been amazing
yeah,
because they got that.
exactly.
That'd be interesting. That'd
I
be, you know what? I'm not mad at that idea, man.
mhm,
I'm not mad at the idea of they don't have to play
mhm.
because it gives an extra incentive.
Yeah, because now it's like, yeah, now you're getting there. It's like, okay,
But
this
then
team
you
made
know what might happen is, like the qualifiers sometimes runs at the same time as like the Euros.
it
So
does,
what
yeah.
might happen is, if you remove, so if you're saying you're removing Spain, let's say you
Mhm.
remove one team, would you replace that group with somebody else?
I think if you want to, sure. Because I think the beauty of that concept is you get teams, you can give some teams rest, but then also however the confederation wants to work it, you can also push another team more in. Maybe there's another spot for a team that can fight for a spot in the group,
Mm.
and then maybe that group gets the reps and the experience and they can go through. Or you just say, hey, now we're down, so maybe the groups become bigger and we have to condense or go through. However they want to do it, but I think if congestion is the issue, because again we've said this and we'll say it again, if you are
No,
Hakimi,
but
yeah,
but you're just saying congestion your congestion though only works for one team though, because then
mhm,
that means only one team is healthy coming up to the World Cup. Only one.
one per
Because
confederation in theory,
yeah, but
assuming that they stay healthy. But
that's
yeah,
my point, right?
mhm,
Because that actually, that's what the issue with, the only reason I don't like this now that I'm thinking more about it is, say Spain, you're giving the Spain example.
yeah,
So they don't play any World Cup qualifiers, but they'll be in the Nations League. But Nations League, as you said, is every 2 years or whatever. I
yeah,
don't actually know when the Nations League is run.
mhm,
So if they get lucky, there's a possibility that they don't do anything.
true.
So their boys only play in the local leagues and everything. But if you're France, you go to the final, you lose.
Mhm.
then you're like, what the hell?
Hey,
We still play
yeah,
extra games, so those guys are burning out because they're
true.
still in all the other competitions.
Mhm.
So it
But
actually skews more to one team eventually.
it does, and also like because again, being Canadian here, there's a reality where now that you're living in this, having lived in this space where we didn't play qualifiers, but then we needed games to get reps, but then who was available became a problem. You're
Mm,
also kind of creating, you're trying to solve that problem as well slightly,
yeah,
where it's like at least you have, it's like okay, there's that, you have the host, and again we're moving to a space where it's multi-team hosts or multi-country hosts, right?
but
So
I don't think this is going to be a common thing though.
I don't think it
I
well.
think I think
Yeah,
I think the next one, obviously, because we know what it is,
yeah,
the next one will probably be the last one.
true, because then it's Saudi Arabia, and then and then projected, I heard that the US is trying to bid for 2038,
Yeah,
so
they will get it again. There's no way. They'll some other country will come in.
technically by the rule of rotation they'd be up again.
Why? They just did it. Wouldn't it be Europe? It's gone Asia. It's gone Asia. Let's. It's gone Brazil.
Yeah, do the math, you'll see
Brazil.
it.
So it's gone Brazil,
South America, yeah,
South
Combo,
South America,
yep.
North America.
Europe technically for Russia. So it went South America,
South
Russia,
America, Russia.
Asia for Qatar,
Yeah. North
Conca,
America.
yeah, CONCACAF. Where's
So
the
then
next one happening?
Asia. So then there's a gap. You can't go. There has to be Europe, then North
Where's the next
America.
World Cup happening?
Spain. Oh, Spain.
Spain,
Spain, Morocco,
Spain,
and
Morocco,
Portugal.
Portugal,
Oh yeah.
and then Uruguay and a bunch of things. They've played the system. They played the system
Oh, but then
well.
that means Australia has a run then.
Saudi Arabia is 34.
No, I'm
No one
saying,
else is
but no,
34.
I'm saying Australia. I'm saying after Saudi. We're talking after Saudi. Are
Yeah,
we talking after Saudi? We're talking
yeah,
after
after
Saudi.
Saudi, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Australia has a run.
Australia is Asia.
Okay, New Zealand then. Like, I don't know. It's Oceania.
It would have to be New Zealand or it would be these states. They've they've played the system well enough that they could host it by their rules of rotation. And if that's the case,
But
realistic,
I think it depends on like what I think what's going to happen is once this World Cup is over, I think you're going to see a lot of negative press show up. I guarantee it. It's been suppressed. It's been suppressed a lot.
mhm.
I think FIFA has really pushed to keep a lot of things quiet because they learned from the Qatar thing. Because remember, there was so much negative press in Qatar, people didn't travel. Remember, Qatar was
Yeah,
flying out people to come watch the games.
yeah.
A lot of the people in there were paid, as our boy. No, I wouldn't say that. That's a crazy statement. I was going to say something crazy, but basically, paid actors were put in the stadiums. Is what happened. I genuinely think after this World Cup, you're gonna have a panorama for my BBC fans. You're gonna have no, I'm not lying. You're gonna let's be honest, because we did this actually helped the US a lot because this also happened in Canada. Canada's trying to sell stuff, but Canada's also been involved in a lot of the sketchy
Yeah.
stuff as well, as we know. So many other countries that would have actually come out and said, "Oh, this has been poor. This has been like." I don't know if you know this, but like France 24 and like BBC and them have released a lot of like documentaries or not really documentaries, like short stories about how bad, how unaffordable, how bad this World Cup is.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
there.
But I think eventually they're gonna bring up, oh, did you guys there's many hidden stories that haven't been mainstream news yet.
Yeah.
Those will come out afterwards. And I think if it sullies the whole thing, then and also, do you think the US wants to do this again? It depends on how far the US goes.
It does, but then also it would. It's also it's starting to. It would if they did it. It would border on a similar type of run of what Morocco did, where it felt like Morocco was hosting everything in CAF for like a stretch of checks watch still going on, and I think the fatigue would be a thing because you also have to remember there's a U.S. Mexico Jamaica bid for the Women's World Cup in 2031, right?
Mhm.
And so that could be two World Cups in 5 years. No, the math is wrong there, but that could be two World Cups in like a stretch of time for
Mhm.
them. So I think the fatigue factor could be there. But I think if anyone in CONCACAF was going to host it, it would have to be either for me, it'd be either A, Mexico, or B, my my crazy idea of just like it's either all in Central America or it's all in the Caribbean.
I think
But
it's
I
going to
don't know.
be. I think it's going to honestly just boil down to how do the next World Cups? How do they go?
Yeah.
What's the vibe? Remember, Brazil was really like a highly anticipated World Cup, and then we got there, and people didn't like it because the distance people were traveling. The That's what I'm saying. I think the US, all they've done is they've suppressed so much negative stories that
Huh.
it feels good. This has been the story of like the feel good World Cup. When we clearly know, we look at the stadiums and you're like, where are the supporters? Why is it
Oh,
only one color that I see? You know what I mean? Like we're not talking about those things. Yeah.
No, we're not going to talk. I'm sorry. What happened to
Mhm.
Nelson's mic just got muted. Everything was great. There was no issue
But,
whatsoever.
but that's why. But I've heard people like Ian Wright talk about this, like because those are people I like listening to because they do speak about it. They're like, this isn't the World Cup. A World Cup means you see the world at the World Cup, and
No,
we haven't seen
yeah.
the world. We have seen Europeans. We have seen heck a rich country like Japan. We didn't really see a lot of Japanese people in the stadium. There were splashings of them. We didn't see a lot of them.
No, it's and I've said this in the chat and I'll say this here. This feels like the most if you are wondering like this is the most North American football experience you'll get without having to go through playing North American football in terms of like play and by North American football I mean soccer for the North Americans here. It's access is interesting. For other people, you can't get in for checks, notes, reasons. For whatever reason. It's the most, it's like, yeah, this is a very good representation of that whole experience, that whole stretch. Because some people get access, some people don't. And the reason is typically financial or just access. And
Oh
that's
no. This one has literally been boiled down to financial.
oh,
If you
but no,
if you
it is financial, but the access also boils into
no
that
no the
financial too.
access
Yeah.
was financial.
Yeah.
If you don't have $50,000, if you're an African, if you're from an African country, you
Mhm.
won't go into this World Cup. If you're coming from Europe and you're not willing to spend 10,000 plus dollars, you're not going. If
Mhm.
you're from Australia, God knows how much money those guys were paying at the current fuel prices to get here.
Listen, I didn't
Dude,
see
we
my
we had
brother-in-law, so yeah.
multiple reports from the CBC saying they saw hotel prices quadruple during
Yeah,
this period. Airbnbs tripled during this period. This
can't
was
confirm.
genuinely, this was genuinely a World Cup for if you don't have it, if you're a brokey, you're not going. Or you are mental enough to pay obscene amounts of money to go watch one game, and at least you can tell your people, hey, I went to the World Cup, I watched this game, it was fun. I'm not calling you out, Akwasi. I'm just saying. I'm just
I
saying,
feel very
yeah.
pointed out here,
But you know what
but
I mean? Like, let's be
yeah,
honest. Like, you're lucky. We're lucky that we live here, which
yeah.
means there's if you didn't have any other things planned, you could have easily drove there or taken the train there,
Mhm.
watch the game, and after the game you come back home same day. And the only cost you would have done is transportation and tickets.
Yeah.
And maybe anything you want to drink, maybe merchandise if you want. But let's
Yeah.
just say you're going on a regular trip. This is just we're going to go watch a Toronto FC game. How you would treat that? It would $1,000 for the ticket. What, 20, $30 for transportation? That's it. But let's be honest here. Like, this has been extremely inaccessible. And FIFA knows this. This cannot be replicated anywhere else. If they try this in Europe, it won't work. They tried this in Africa, it won't work. It won't work.
Well, but that's why I think everything was pointing at that direction. If you weren't naive enough, right? We're gonna eliminate the middleman by having our own reseller site that will take like 10 to 15% off the top for every transaction, so that we get you don't have to be the middleman. We'll take the middleman. Like everything, like you didn't have to read the tea leaves. It was in neon lights.
Yeah.
Right. That's reality. But hey, Mexico, they won their game versus Ecuador. A great first half, and then kind of controlled it for the rest of it to get the 2-0 win, which means what do they have at stake? Very simply, I was looking up 2038 World Cups. So let me get back to 2030. They are in the same bracket. Their pocket it's very simple. They play the winner of DR Congo, England tomorrow. Of that game that is tomorrow. They don't play them tomorrow. And so Mexico is there, and I will share that for you guys so you can take a look at it one last time before we sign off. So Mexico with a 2-0 win, they play the winner of England and DR Congo, which means we may get, again, just from because we don't get these type of matchups anymore, we could get Mexico playing England in Mexico at the Azteca with elevation. That's appointment for me. It doesn't matter. That's an appointment for me. So we'll get that matchup tomorrow. And then the other matchups coming in tomorrow are you have Belgium, Senegal at 4, the underperforming bowl to me. Both teams were. And then USA versus Bosnia Herzegovina at 8. And Bosnia, you could do something here for me. I don't know if you can, but it would be very nice.
If Bosnia couldn't beat us, there's no chance of beating the US.
I know. Let me dream.
There's no chance of beating the US.
Let me dream.
This is bell to ass from the US.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. And the music is I am from Bosnia, take me to America. So that is what's coming up tomorrow. So England, DR Congo at noon. Or I'm sorry, that's what's coming up in less than 12 hours. Belgium and Senegal at 4 p.m. at Eastern, and then USA, Bosnia Herzegovina at 8. Guys, thank you for being here today. We will be back tomorrow, definitely at 8 or 9-ish. We'll come back at 8, just so we can have that going on during the game and have the conversation of the games that were. But we may even do 2 African teams going. What are we going to do? The DR Congo, England, and take that in? Or we might just do the Belgium and Senegal matchup.
I think that's going to be the more interesting one, because if the if England shows up, it's a wrap. There's nothing Congo can do.
True.
But Belgium, Senegal, if Senegal shows up, at least that's a game.
Yes.
But just like we've seen with Ecuador, I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. This is we've hoped, we've prayed, we've gotten the point where we just have to accept this is their level, at least in this World Cup.
Yeah,
we'll see them in the next. So hey,
indeed.
Either way, I'll be available. Tomorrow's a chill day,
and it's a holiday. So any Canadians out here, happy Canada Day to you. Enjoy the time.
Fireworks. It's crazy.
Yeah, fireworks everywhere. You know what? Like, I want to do the game, but no, I don't want to go. I don't want to do the watch party in the falls on Canada Day. Ain't no room.
Nah, it's gonna be crazy.
Ain't no room, man.
And the heat. Nah, I'm good.
Yo, I got
That's the only reason I'm not going. I would have loved to go, but it has to drop. You can't go when it's 36 outside, 38.
True.
Like that's crazy.
I have the meanest farmer stand from the Jays game on Saturday, so it's
Sure, buddy. you and I are the same shade. That shit ain't changing.
And with that,
you can stay outside as long as you want, but no farmer stand needed.
listen. With that, we'll see you guys
out.
later today.